Let's get it going. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 278 of the KBMOD podcast. It is May 14th, 2017, and it's not my birthday yet, but we're inching closer. Brad, you weren't here.
It is Mother's Day, though.
It is Mother's Day. I know. I totally neglected Mother's Day to talk about my birthday.
Went right to your birthday and forgot about Mother's Day, huh?
Yeah. Last week.
So self-centered.
I'm so selfish. Last week I talked about how it was going to be my birthday later in the month, and I'm again monopolizing my intro time to talk about myself. No, it is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there that listen to this cast. I'm sure there are a lot. What do you guys think? How many mothers do you think listen to this cast? We have it depends. I mean, we get a decent amount of. We get quite amount of downloads every month, so I won't give exact numbers, but give me thoughts. What do you think?
I don't know.
Let's say 2,000 people listen to this podcast total. Out of 2,000 people, how many of them are mothers? Katie, what would you give it?
Well,
if you had to put a number on it.
I really have no clue where to start with that. I mean, I know we're all a bunch of angry male weebs in this chat. So already
all of us
we've got a strikingly low amount of no. Okay.
Just go with your heart. Do you close your eyes and think? Just go with your heart. Does any number pop in your head?
Out of 2,000?
Yeah, we'll go with 2,000 as a base number.
Probably 10 to 20, honestly.
Okay, that's pretty good
considering what we talk about.
That's pretty good.
Which
So I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, but we literally only have 1% of our audience is female. So
yeah, I was just gonna say, I think 10 to 20 would be incredibly high, but I'm gonna go with maybe one. That's my thought.
Maybe
one mom.
Maybe one mom.
It's APL's mom.
It's.
I hope she doesn't listen. God bless her heart. I've told this story before, but my mom will do stuff where she'll check in on my content, or for some reason she just follows my Facebook fan page, and I'll post the stream snacks and stuff like that, and then she'll be like, we'll be at dinner or something, and she'll be like, oh yeah, I saw the latest stream snack. I'm like, Mom, you can't watch those. You're not allowed to go on my page. She's like, no, I know. She's like, sometimes it's a little inappropriate, but I like to see what you're doing. I'm like, Mom, trust me, it's not worth it.
Oh my
She's
God.
so cute though.
She cares.
She does care. I feel bad. But I think my
You
parents
can definitely listen to This Is Not a Letter, though.
No, that one for sure. Yeah, that one she can listen to. But but the normal content or just checking in on my stream, I just cringe. It's just not.
Yeah.
You know the timing would work out that she would come in at the worst possible moment.
No, exactly.
Like a text-to-speech donation would be mid awfulness.
That's always what I feel like, because my dad has brought it up too, and he'll be like, or he'll bring up the stream and I'll be like, yeah, I was like, you don't really have to. And for a while he'd be like, no, I don't mind going in there. And then recently, over the last couple months, he's been like, I can tell when I bring it up. He's like, okay, yeah, I'll check it out. But I can tell he definitely came in during a time probably when something was going down like that, Ying. And I was like, so he's definitely a little more gun. He's definitely
It should be a PDC donation or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, he checks out the KBMOD podcast and we start talking about fondling chicken without repercussion.
Yeah, exactly. There's really nothing safe. The safest thing is the podcast I do with him. But it's all good. Hey, different story. But yeah, happy Mother's Day. Of course, you guys can hear the beautiful Canadian voice of Yingity Yang on the cast. KBMOD community member. I mean, a member, a mod in my stream, a streamer in his own right. Just all around. Honestly, I've met quite a few Canadians from being online for as many years as I have, and I don't know if I can find if I've ever met a nicer Canadian. So, Yingity, we appreciate you coming on and filling in while Brandon's gone. It means a lot.
No, I really appreciate the invite. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Been watching the podcast for a long time now, so
yeah. How long?
Very different from this end.
How long do you think you've been a listener for, or watcher, or whatever? Because you've been around a while. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I would probably say I've been aware of KBMOD and sort of partaking in all the content for probably three and a half years, maybe.
Nice. Okay.
Something around there.
Yeah, you've been.
So not quite OG, but back there at least at this point.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, we really appreciate you coming on, and yeah, we just felt like, I have to say, I have to shout out to Katie, because Katie, you were the one who was because we were thinking of who would be fun people to have on, rotate some people in when Brandon's away or I'm away, and you thought.
I mean, that's strange considering our last Katie's Ends filling in for our last Dark Souls correspondent Blacklight attack.
Oh, that's
and he
true.
still came back. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was it about?
no.
What was it about Ying that you were just like? I mean, you just got a good vibe, right? Ying gives off a great vibe.
Yeah, it was when I played some CS:GO with Yingity, and it was with Timmy. God bless him. Never want to play another game with Timmy again.
Oh no.
But that's another story. No, I was just playing with Yingity, and we've talked a lot before. Well, I mean, not a lot, but like here and there. And you're just a really well-spoken guy, a really nice guy. You stream, occasionally. You've been actually succeeding really well for your Extra Life campaign.
For real, like it's been in the past couple of months that it's really taken off, and it's been really cool.
Yeah, what do you have now? Like,
we're literally just over $701 right now for Extra Life.
Awesome.
Killing it.
I had set a goal for 1,000 for the entire year, and I thought that was pretty ambitious, and I think it still is. But the support from people who hang out in chat has been really, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah,
well, it's been awesome.
We're glad to have you.
I'm really happy to be here for sure.
I enjoyed Yingity's stream. Was it yesterday or the day before?
It would have been the day before, I think.
Yeah.
And you were, you know what? You tell the story.
I was enjoying my first bath. After I don't think I've taken a bath. I can't tell you how many years. I mean, you know.
Use a Lush bomb.
I didn't have any bombs, but I did have like bath soap that made a bunch of bubbles, so I was able to use that. But it wasn't. No, I wish I had a Lush bomb. It would have been great. I do love Lush, but no, and I was soaking in the tub, man, and I had Yingity stream on, and it was amazing. I mean, there was a lot of things going on. I don't want to get into the actual physical things that were happening under the water, but while he was streaming. It was great. Yingity's also a good streamer in the sense like you're very calming. You have a very calming presence. So like watching your streams just like relaxation. You know, and the fact you're doing it for Extra Life is awesome too. But no, I had a great time.
That put you in a great mood in the bathtub.
It put me, not just me. Other extremities were in a great mood too. Everything was feeling
Scott
great.
got permission to post a link about halfway through that bath, I think.
That's right. I don't know if I don't even know where. I don't even know if I saved it. I'll put it in the chat at some point if I can find it.
You put it in the chat, okay.
I'll scar other people with that selfie. But no, it was great. So anyway, all that to say, we're happy to have you here. And you know, Brad, I don't want you to feel like the redheaded stepchild because I know you're sitting over there waiting for me to ask you how your hiatus was in the mountains. You know, you took a couple weeks off, relaxation. You know, recouping, kind of getting your mental juju back. I think this is the way that you had described it. Last week I talked about your update where I wasn't sure exactly what was going on in the photo, but you looked naked and you were you were in nature somewhere. So how was your time? How was your time away?
It was pretty good. I think, you know, I went on a 13-day journey.
Yeah.
Out on the Pacific Crest Trail, completely naked, like you suggested.
Okay, that's what I saw that from the selfie.
And then that was when I was arrested, and now I'm back home. So
that's awesome.
You actually got arrested?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know this, but it's illegal to be nude. Like
even if you're.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I mean, it's good to have him back. You know, it's good to have you back. We definitely missed you, and yeah, Brandon is. Where is Brandon this week? I forget. I think he's.
I don't know.
I don't remember
what his. He deserves a break though. He's been.
No, he does. No, he's definitely traveling for some reason. I don't remember if it's for work or for leisure, but either way, you know, Daddy had to leave us for a bit, but I believe he is back next week. But yeah, how's everybody's week been going so far? Anything exciting? We'll talk about what we've been playing, but let's talk about what we've been doing first. Or as Katie edited the doc earlier, who we've been doing. He actually wanted to go there, which if you guys want to get into that, that's fine. But I don't think that's really.
I myself can't answer that, but
There's
got to be someone else on here who can answer that.
Didn't you name your right hand? I thought you had decided on a name for.
I go through multiple personalities.
Depends on how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long you sit on it?
What's the variation? What defines one hand personality from another?
Yeah, that's fascinating. Sometimes he wants it to be Sanic, and other times he wants it to be something else.
Oh my god. Yeah, sometimes, you know, the speed of the hand. If it's like really tough, then it's Knuckles, you know?
Jeez.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's good.
But
no, but yeah, what's been going on?
No, I did Yeah, I did some Mother's Day stuff. Surprised my mom with the gift. Like I gave her like a kind of out there gift. I didn't want to give her like just like
Was it Dark
flowers and
Souls,
chocolate or whatever.
like merch or something?
No, that was last year. No, I'm
Like
kidding.
gift card to Family Video or?
A couple of years ago, no, yeah, the last thing I did for Mother's Day for her, I always want to do like crazy things. So I got a pinata. Like I asked her what her favorite candy was, and I just still did like a pinata, and like she was swinging away at that, and there was like a box of earrings in there too, and like that was one year, and then so this year, I was talking with her, and she was saying how like she was really. I was just talking, and I was like, "So, what are you passionate about?" She was talking about how she was really, really into like gardening for a while, but she can't really do it that much anymore because she's like, older, not really, be like down there for like a long period of time. And so I basically, and like, I was really worried about doing this because I thought it just wouldn't make any sense at all, but it actually turned out really well. I bought like I bought a bunch of gardening tools, and I bought like a gift card to Walmart, and I said, like, I'll be your gardener. I'll plant whatever like you want to get done. And so like the gift card was like for any kind of like bud she wanted to pick out, and yeah, it worked pretty well.
That's cool.
So she was really happy.
Very nice.
Got a little choked up, but it was cool.
Yeah, you get to stay in the house for another month. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you buying more time, or is this like just
yeah, I do. Yeah.
That's
a rent I don't have to worry about. Yeah.
Nice.
But
that's good.
Not so much other than
anyone else have Mother's Day? I mean, so I have two siblings, and my sister, who's usually the most thoughtful one. My brother's pretty thoughtful. I'm thoughtful sometimes, but mostly they're the two more sensitive ones. And my mom had been talking about wanting an iPad for a while, and so we all chipped together and got her one of the newer iPads. So she was very happy with that.
Did you install the Twitch app for her? Or?
Oh, of course I did. Yeah, I installed the Twitch app, the YouTube app, and no, she's definitely gonna be watching all of my content. It's like I said, I just love when my parents watch my content. So, but no, she was super surprised and very appreciative. So it was good. It was always good because my mom's hard to buy gifts for in the sense of she can be tough to. She never think of anything she wants. I mean, I think a lot of people are like that, and so to surprise her, get a genuine reaction like I had no idea, feels pretty good. So she was pretty blindsided by that. So that was nice.
Awesome.
But yeah, anything else? Any other happenings this week? Any other crazy stuff happened on Mother's Day? Mother's Day week, I guess. I don't know. Today's Mother's Day. Is the week leading up to Mother's Day week? I think I just made that up.
No,
I don't think that's a thing.
I don't know. I think it's all just on the one day.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Mothers aren't really that important in our lives.
I mean, this is my birthday year, and then obviously my birthday month, but I won't bring that up.
Yeah, you start going on about your whole like month for your birthday.
I know that was last podcast I did.
It started at like episode 260. You're like, hey guys, just want to let you know, birthday's coming up.
No. Yeah, I know. I need to stop. Okay.
But
yeah.
But yeah.
All right. I'm trying to think. I had some story I was going to share, but I can't. I'm old and I can't think of it now because did I mention it's going to be my birthday later this month? Anyway, no. Let's talk about. Okay, so Brad added this, and I think this is good, even though it may totally derail the cast because anytime we bring up food, we get stuck on a certain spot.
But the longest tangents.
Yeah, Brad has added what we've been eating, and so obviously we don't have to go into the truly mundane, but we could talk about, maybe we had a nice meal, maybe we went to a place we haven't gone before. Anybody have anything of note that they've been eating that they would like to talk about? Maybe a new experience with a food.
So I have a couple places, and I've tried some real garbage and some real good food.
Okay.
So
hit me.
But I will start with the garbage, and that is the Taco Bell chicken chips.
Mm-hmm. Garbage?
The verdict is they're basically Burger King chicken nuggets.
Really?
They taste literally the same.
Okay, that's off-putting when you're putting that in the context of Taco Bell when you say that. Because that's weird.
I'm pretty sure Taco Bell's owned by the same parent company, so it kind of makes sense in that case.
They probably use the same chicken and
probably source it from the same place.
Right.
But I mean, if I was hungry, would I do it again? Probably. But was it garbage?
What do they come with like a dipping sauce or something? Is there anything? What do they do to separate like, is it just the shape? Like, what is Taco
So
Bell
they're
doing?
literally chicken nuggets in the shape of a triangle to
Right.
resemble a tortilla chip,
Right.
and then they give you nacho cheese to go with it.
Okay. Yeah.
That doesn't sound very.
Especially because
That doesn't sound
I'm
too good.
imagining kind of like I haven't had Burger King chicken nuggets or whatever in a while, but like they have a specific kind of consistency and
Oh.
taste that are much different than something like McDonald's or whatever. So I'm
Well,
trying
it's
to
usually
imagine
the
that with
pepperness that they add into the breading or whatever that kind of makes it. I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah. And then those little crunch wrap things that they have with like the circle tortilla, and then they fold everything over on that and then grill it on both sides.
Yep.
Well, I guess they have a crunch wrap with the chicken chips in
Okay.
it.
Inside of it. Okay.
And I didn't try that. That was too much. But I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do my usual, and then the chicken things. I'm not getting too crazy tonight,
Wow, you went on I like that though, trying it out because I've been seeing the ads, so I'm glad somebody hit the pavement and
yeah,
tried it
I don't
out.
have fast food around me, so like when I go down to into the big metro area and I'm on my way back, I'm like, well, I saw that thing, so I just kind of like only go to fast food to try the stupid shit that they're
Right.
trying online, like,
Yeah.
and so, like, yeah, I don't know. That was interesting. And then I had, I forget what they called it. I think I put it on Twitter the other day, but it was like a fried chicken sandwich with Munster cheese and bacon on a Kaiser bread bun.
Okay.
And that was my good thing I ate in the last couple weeks.
Man, Munster cheese. Munster doesn't get trotted out enough. I used to love Munster growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's I don't know, not a cheese you see people talk about or eat much anymore. That sounds good. Where was it from? Is it from a fast food place or no?
No, so it's a joint in Portland, it's called Lardo.
Oh my god, I did see this picture. That's what that's of. Oh, that looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That looks great.
I'm pretty sure they fry everything with like lard from like they somehow try and combine everything from a whole pig into like their menu.
Okay.
Like one sandwich they have is literally like pork belly pesto.
You know how I
like
know about this place?
lettuce.
Because of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I watched one on Lardo. No, okay.
Really?
No, yeah, no, 100%. They were featured on one of them. I believe it's the one that uses like every part of the pig or whatever. Because I distinctly remember it was in Portland.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
well, when you're up here, we have to try that because
I'm down.
like trust me,
I'm down.
every sandwich is good. But yeah, that was my good eat for the week. And then yeah, that's about it. What have you guys been eating?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I got anything.
The usual
stood out.
diet, the usual Wendy's. That's it.
Wendy's is your. Do you have? I know I ask about this, but do you have like all the other fast food options, or are you just a Wendy's? You're just loyal.
I have other options. It's just that I walk to. Well, I mean, I have a Wendy's really close to where I work, and I just walk over there. The next closest places are Burger King and McDonald's.
Okay.
So, and I much prefer Wendy's to either of those places.
Mm-hmm.
So I just end up going there a lot more.
Fair enough.
But
there's nothing really new
yeah,
on the Wendy's menu, I guess, at the moment. Nothing like the fries, the fondue fries.
The fondue fries, yeah.
And
They added this new. The Baconator is good. They added this new like chicken mozzarella salad. It was awful. It was
Well, I don't normally go to Wendy's for my salad, but okay.
They actually have pretty good salads. They're like Power Mediterranean. It's actually really tasty. But yeah, other than that, I mean, mainly it just my dad is like really, really good at cooking. He did this these chicken sandwiches where he intentionally gave it like outrageous proportions where like the chicken is like honestly 4 times the size of the bun. And that was delicious. He did this like Korean beef and steak kind of mix, like beef and noodles. So some pretty good stuff from there, but I haven't really eaten out or anything.
I do have one thing that I tried within the last 2 weeks, which wasn't this week, but the week before. Sorry to cut you off, but I was just because I was like fishing for something.
No, I was done.
And somebody in my chat, I think Bayer in the Woods, who he sometimes is around here too, in the KBMOD community, but he had said, because I had said I never tried White Castle before, and the closest White Castle to me is in Jersey,
really?
like an hour and a half away, where my brother
I've never
lives.
had it, so
Yeah, and he was like,
Oh,
you can get so White Castle sells their actual burgers frozen that you literally just microwave, and I was like, how good could they be? He's like, dude, it's about as good as you can get for a frozen item, as close to like actually being the fast food fresh as you can be. So I was like, I'll try it. So I was at Target, and I was in the frozen aisle, and I saw they have like the 2-packs of them, and it was like $1.50. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. You literally just open the pack, you put them in the microwave, and 60 seconds. And I was like, there's no way this is going to be like good. Took them out, let them cool, dude, incredible. I mean, I've never had White Castle before, so I don't know how to really like fully compare it. But like the roll was like moist, not soggy. The beef, I was looking at the ingredients, 100% beef. I mean, it uses all the same ingredients that they basically use at the store itself. Not that I mean, it's White Castle, so quality is probably not if they're selling that many burgers. But it was really, really good. So anyway, I don't think Bayer's here right now, but shout out to him. His recommendation was really good. So if you get a chance and see them, like try them out, and let me know what you think. I'd actually be really curious. They were really good. They were really good.
Sorry, it feels like every couple of months I hear some sort of food coming out of the States that sounds completely alien to me, because I don't know what it is. I think Americans just do food so totally differently than from what Canadians at least have.
Well, it's crazy.
It's like
though?
constant discovery for me. Like I didn't even know what cookie butter was until like 6 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like I was like, wow, that's a thing. And now there's microwavable burgers. Like this is all very new to me every time I hear something about this.
What's crazy though is the Canadian fast food joints are like on point and get all the stuff that like we want. Like we've seen some shit that Canadians get that is like, we're supposed to be the fatter ones. Like I want to pay to get that. Why can't I get that?
See, I think we specialize in more shitty, like the options in America are truly like if you go to the frozen aisle at like a Target or a Walmart or just even your normal grocery store, it is disgustingly dizzying the amount of stuff that you can get, and most of it's garbage. I mean, obviously it's not like, especially if you're gonna go, but you can get pretty much. It's like, do you want a frozen version of, and then literally just insert anything, and there you can pretty much find it. So I understand. Like, especially if you're not used to that.
It's also the price you guys pay for food. I had a buddy go down to the States like maybe two years ago, and he texts me like out of the blue, and he goes, I think he hit up an IHOP or something like that, and he texts me and he goes, dude, I understand why America has an obesity problem, because like he would go there and pay even though our dollar is like a meme at this point. He would spend so little money just getting groceries or paying for food and get so much food for what to us is like a very small amount. Yeah. So it's just like the disparity in food just seems so crazy to me between Canada and the States.
We have the cheapest terrible stuff for you that tastes amazing and does hits all the pleasure centers of the brain. And it's dirt cheap. It's like, I mean, honestly, if you have like being able to go to if you have $1, I mean, some of these deals going on, it's like, I mean, if you just want to talk about pure caloric intake for the price, like, I don't know, it's pretty hard to beat a lot of places in the States just for how, I'm not saying, obviously, it's not healthy food, and a lot of it has all of the additives and everything in it, but, yeah, I mean, I think you said it right. I mean, I'm glad your friend realizes why a lot of America, just the access to that kind of food.
Like, I don't think, it's got to be the access, because I mean, I think there's a misunderstanding that's like, well, there's a culture in America where you're just eating tons and tons of food. I think it's just the availability.
Availability is a huge part of it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's a huge part of it. Yeah, that pretty much at any time there's going to be something. I mean, and like kind of with you, Brad, where you're like, I don't really live around fast food, or if you live in a more isolated place, it's like, if you don't if you live in a place that is at all has either 24/7 fast food places, or even stuff like 7-Eleven or Wawa's, which we have here, or Sheetz or whatever, if you live near a populated area, you have access at any time to be able to pretty much run out and get something. Whereas like if you live in the country or something like that, it actually like lack of access means like you're gonna eat whatever in your pantry, or you're probably not gonna eat anything at all. Maybe the temptation's not there. So I don't know. It's an interesting thought, but yeah, we definitely have. I mean, just think about all the food channels that are all the food channels are American food channels. You don't see food channels in like, I mean, I know they exist. Like, okay, there's the Chicken Show and some other things, but a vast majority is people. Like, I came across a dude who reviews the Walmart off-brand frozen foods, and it's it's hard to watch because it's so disgusting. But
oh no,
he will go in and he does like deep dives in these reviews. Oh, not just Walmart, Dollar Store. He had Dollar Store steaks. Have you seen those?
Dollar Tree steak.
Dollar Tree steak. Oh, it's so disgusting. But like you can get it. You know, you were able to get it, and so his videos are fascinating. But like it's a whole culture kind of built around that kind of stuff. And Dollar Store, like cheeseburgers frozen. It's just like, yeah. If you want it, you can get it. So. Anyway, this is turning into a discussion about why
you were right though. This did derail the cast.
It is. I don't even know where.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Did anybody else eat anything of note, Yingity or Katie?
Yeah.
I had arguably one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life, and I'm never gonna have it again because it was just criminally expensive.
Okay.
There's this restaurant that's attached to where I work, and it's. I don't know if it's hipster. It sort of is, and it kind of isn't at the same time. But it gives off that vibe. Like they're always having, they're revamping their menu like every 3 months or something like that, just because they're trying to get,
what's in season?
I don't know, some like overly ridiculous, item selection. But they had this burger, and it was like a patty made of chorizo sausage. It had a sunny side up egg on it. A huge amount of just thick slices of avocado and pepper jack cheese on top of it. It was incredible, and it also cost me $25.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that is an expensive burger.
25 Canadian dollars?
25 Canadian. So I get it. It's like $3 American, but but it was so good. But it was one of those situations where the food was so good, but I almost couldn't enjoy it because I was thinking about how expensive it was.
Yeah, no, totally. That's a lot of money for a burger. But I can see how that would be like a once in a. That's cool though. It's fun to do those kind of once in I'm probably never gonna eat that burger again kind of things though.
Yeah.
And it was really good. It was really good though. I mean, that sounds like a good combo.
It was excellent.
Yeah. Portion size.
So
was it a big burger for the price or was it average? I mean, $25. I'm like, they better.
It was like a reasonable sized burger. Like it didn't feel it wasn't small. Like it was a full meal at least. But I don't know. Like it's hard to justify paying that amount for anything. At least for like a food item.
Yeah, for like a one time. You're gonna poop that out.
Yeah, that's about $18 for USD.
18.
But it's still insane.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah, that's still like a very expensive hamburger.
I have to say,
It sounds incredible though.
Yeah, it does sound really good. So have you guys had Shake Shack? There's a Shake Shack like in the area that I live. It's like a chain, but it's like super. It's also expensive. It's not $25 expensive, but it's like and I had that since moving. I mean, within the last couple months of moving here, and I heard a lot of stuff about it, and I kind of went in a little bit skeptical, and it was actually incredible. It was incredible.
It's good.
Yeah, like I mean, again, like people were like, I like Five Guys better. I'm like, it's on a different level. It's a different tier for me of burger. Do you know what I mean? Especially for the price, it's a little bit. I mean, it might be the same price wise, but it's like when we get into this is just the food cast now, Brad. You did this, but it's like when people talk about In-N-Out and Five Guys, and like people will have that whole debate. And I'm like, dude, In-N-Out is cheap, is so cheap compared to Five Guys, and I'm not saying Five Guys is bad, but
I heard this where it was so Five Guys, I think it was with the guy that does the hot takes or whatever with the wings, and he brings celebrities on.
Sean Evans.
Yeah, so he was basically saying like so Shake Shack is a chef doing.
Oh, I know. I watched that exact quote that you're going to talk about. I know exactly.
Yeah, it was something. It was like something like fast food done by a chef, and then the alternative for like In-N-Out and
yes,
Five Guys was like, no, I had it backwards, or maybe I don't. I don't remember. God, sorry. Help me out, Scott. Do you know?
No, I know exactly the quote you're trying to, because it would be a perfect example of what I want to say, or what I'm trying to get across. But yeah, the idea was like, Shake Shack is a gourmet burger done by a chef, and like Five Guys is a. Oh man, dude, it's gonna bother me. I'll find the quote because I know I just watched the episode that you're talking about.
It was
recently.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
It was the Neil.
If you haven't watched it, go ahead.
It was the
and
Neil deGrasse
watch
Tyson
it 'cause it's
episode.
good.
All right, I know where. I'll find the part that you're talking about. But yeah, he basically said exactly what I wanted to say because you can tell like the meat at Shake Shack on that burger is probably some of the best meat.
It's
I've
unreal.
ever. It's unreal. It's like it's
It literally like melts.
It's like butter.
It's like so good.
It's incredible. I don't know how they do it. So yeah, it really feels like another level. Where Five Guys is very good, but it's not. It's just not in the same tier for me. But sometimes you want, The other thing is too when people talk about this stuff, we really just have to do a food podcast, guys. I don't want to talk about games. I'm over it. Let's just talk about food.
Let's just do it. KB Munch.
Like, we really should.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like sometimes you want, like sometimes I'm not in the mood for the fancier or better tier. Sometimes you just want to put trash in your body, and that's what shit like. I mean, not everybody, but sometimes like when people are like, "Man, why would you ever get Little Caesars?" It's like, it's $5 dude.
It really
I'm turning up tonight,
Right.
dude. I'm neglecting. I'm not. For $5. Sometimes you just want that. You don't want the gourmet tier, even if it is a better option. Okay. Did Verb find the quote? Shake Shack is fast food made by a gourmet chef, whereas Five Guys is made to be like fast food. Okay, that's not the exact quote, but that's close enough. Verb, thank you for that, by the way. God damn it! By the way, Brad's constantly changing his photo, and it's very distracting. I'm sorry, audio listeners. God damn it!
My
Okay.
God.
Anyway,
The fourth or fifth one.
so all I'm saying is, if you've never tried Shake Shack and you have one near you, definitely give it a try at least once. I don't think you'll be disappointed. That was one thing that I tried somewhat recently that in the last couple months that was good. But okay. Anyone want to say anything else on food before we move on to games? Because this is already
Well, not really on food, but I
Okay.
wanted to
Okay.
bring things back over to Yingity for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know we said we wouldn't do like a huge like interview thing, but I've drafted up some pressing questions that, I mean, it's now or never. Let's assume right now we get bombed by North Korea. We can never have another podcast with Yingity ever again.
Okay, sure.
So we might as well
Oh, God.
throw some questions at him. So boom. So I've got 5 quick little questions just so we can all, learn more about you.
Perfect.
So what was the first video game you ever played?
Ooh, that's a good question. The first game I probably ever played that anyone would recognize that wasn't like a point and click adventure is Halo.
Okay.
Nice.
So you played a lot of like point and click adventures before then?
Yeah, like I've been on a PC since about 3 years old, according to my parents.
Cool.
So it was like a lot of like kid games, right? But I would say the first actual game.
Tell me you played Pajama Sam.
I absolutely played Pajama
Oh
Sam.
my god.
Pajama
yes.
Sam and Putt Putt were my jam.
Oh, me too.
Putt Putt
Oh
Saves
my
the
God.
Zoo
Freddy Fish.
and Freddy Fish. Yeah, I didn't play as much Freddy Fish, but I did play it. But Putt Putt and Pajama Sam.
Oh yeah. Okay, good.
I am.
Awesome.
This is all going
Yeah,
over
and-
my head, but I'm glad you guys are bonding because I've never played any of these.
Oh my god. They're actually
You can get
all,
Putt Putt Saves the Zoo on Steam right now.
they're all on Steam. Yeah, all the
Yeah.
Pajama Sams. Those games are
God, you need to do a Putt Putt stream is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Oh my god. If you streamed Putt Putt or Pajama Sam, that would be super successful. For real. But yeah, awesome. And so what's your favorite single player game and what's your favorite multiplayer game of all time?
Of all time, my favorite single player game, and I'm sure this is not a rare answer, is Witcher 3. That game hit me in all the right spots. And then favorite multiplayer, the only real multiplayer I've ever committed to has been Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, great answer.
I like
I
that
still
answer.
have yet to try The Witcher 3. I just hear just amazing things.
You haven't played it yet? Dude, you need to do yourself a favor and play that game.
I feel like Katie would start
Check it
that,
out,
and then
yeah.
this he would become his
and
new.
now that you you have both of the expansions like out right away too, like you can binge that and have the
Yeah.
time of your life.
You basically
Dude,
might not
I
be
think-
seen for like a year if you just play all of this stuff.
Yeah,
in
It's
the
true.
one
That's,
sitting.
So that like Witcher is such a dangerous game in that regard. Like that's why I'm being so careful with Persona. Like that game is dangerous. If you
Mhm.
play that game for like for one night, you'll be hooked and it'll be all you ever do. So like yeah, I believe you there. Like if I started, I'll just be.
I feel like if once he started playing The Witcher 3, it would become his new like Dark Souls, where he would
My
bring
new
it
Dark
up at
Souls,
every
yeah.
opportunity because it is that
Do you
good.
have to play like
It is that
the
good.
first two to play 3?
Nope. No, you do not. They give you like enough background information to play the third one. I have not played the first or the second. Like to me, going back and reading the first and second was sort of like all I really needed. But even then, like I don't think you at all have to play the first or second to get the third.
Okay, cool. Okay. Oh my god, I said okay, cool, and my phone heard okay, Google. Stop that. God damn it.
Our
Okay,
overlords.
3 more.
Yeah.
What is your preferred console?
Oh god, I haven't touched a console in years, dude. I would say if I were to get one now, it would be the newest PlayStation. Just because every year or so, I feel like they're releasing exclusives that I'm like, damn, I really wish that was on PC. So I would have to say
for sure.
PlayStation.
Okay. All right, last 2, rapid fire. Red or green grapes?
Red.
Good answer. And finally, do you think pineapple belongs on pizza?
Absolutely not.
Dang. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that
last.
I like the strength of that answer. Even though I don't agree with it, I like that Yingity didn't even, it was just, there was not even any kind of,
No
trying to be
hesitation.
political.
Like,
just no.
Cooked fruit is is a tenuous prospect. Like unless that's going in a pie, there's not too many options that I'm really down for.
All
Okay.
right.
Perfect.
There you go. You're right up there with Gordon Ramsay on the same wavelength. But yeah. And that concludes our question segment.
Okay. Thank you for doing
what
that.
What have we played this week, gentlemen?
Yeah. How about you start, Katie? How about you you go?
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right, I'll tell you what I played. But you've got to promise me after I tell you that we'll still be friends.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I can't promise that, but I'm ready to hear what it's going to be.
I played Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Okay, nope. We're done.
I played a lot.
Okay, what inspired that?
Well, I've played all of the Call of Duties before. I pride myself on keeping up to date on that series. I played Ghosts when that came out, even though I didn't like that game at all. I enjoyed Black Ops 3, and I had no desire to pick up Infinite Warfare until I saw it on sale, super cheap, and so I figured, might as well pick it up and see because I'm interested in seeing where the series is going, and so I picked it up and I played I played a little bit of all 3 modes of that game, which had mixed results. The multiplayer is so fucking infuriating. All balance, when you, for example, Black Ops 3, you had the power abilities, which kind of really didn't care about balance at all, but they were kind of little hints of balance when things the Tempest gun, there's a little startup to that. There was the revolver, there was no aim assist if you're playing on console. It's hard to aim, or the longbow, there's a one-shot kill, you have to aim that first, and it was really precise. Infinite Warfare doesn't give a fuck about any sort of balance ever. They brought back so many, they brought back the akimbo. They had classic weapons you can play from other games. They brought back the akimbo Glocks from Modern Warfare 2, which is an absolute disaster. Those guns are insane. The most powerful submachine gun right now is something that fires 2 magazines through 2 barrels, and you can only get it through a supply drop, and people just die ridiculously fast. You have those those power, those ults, I guess you'd call them, you get where you get the power weapons. The one the kind of what's it called, the claw, where it's kind of the short range minigun. That gun is the fucking stupidest thing. You just instant triple kill, you don't even have to try. It's just so dumb. And you have the eraser, which there's there's absolutely no thought put into that. It's just one shot kill on anybody you look at with that gun. It's just so stupid. And you die. I'm a firm believer that a fast time to kill in Call of Duty is much worse. I prefer so many times you see somebody in that game, there's no time to react. And I know it's kind of that for all Call of Duties, but Infinite Warfare, the time to kill is just stupid high. So the multiplayer, I mean,
were you offended? Because I'm not gonna lie, I played Infinite Warfare, or no, I didn't play Infinite Warfare. I didn't play the newest. I played the one before it, and I'd not played any of the CODs where people are running around, zipping around in jetpacks and killing me with lasers, and I was just this is cancerous. I was I don't know how people play this. I was actually offended to my core. as like a shooting purist, shooter purist.
Yeah.
Did you
it's
feel that? Were you
definitely-
kind of
yeah,
like,
I mean,
ugh, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Black Ops 3, like with their, even though having like the movement like that, I think that was still a fun game. Maybe I need to play more of both to kind of see
Yeah.
like why I like that game and why I don't like Infinite Warfare, because that game, I mean, I don't know if I was expecting a godlike like multiplayer game, but it's just was much worse than I thought. But like I get so pissed when I play that game. I start talking to myself. I start yelling like little kids on the PlayStation mics. That game puts me in a
Katie
dark
may
place. I don't
not
know if I
seem
can
it,
play
but
multiplayer.
Katie takes his gaming very, very. I've actually recently realized this, at least multiplayer gaming. If there's any kind of competitive edge, you get really hard on yourself, man. You get really hard on yourself. We talked about it with PUBG last week, but you can just hear it.
Yeah.
You know, if you feel like you blew something, you don't let yourself off the hook. Or so I can just imagine the level of rage that you were inducing playing Call of Duty.
Oh my god, I pride myself in never throwing a controller like in my life.
Oh yeah.
But I came dangerously close in that game. Like you die in that game and you just instantly want to break whatever you can get your hands on. I just have to drop the controller before I can think, and just like that's like the reflex. It's just instant drop the controller. But I don't know. What was I gonna say? Like that, and then like speaking of like how passionate like I get about video games. So actually, no, I'll talk about that after Infinite Warfare. But I mean, I didn't only play the multiplayer. I played the zombies for a little bit. I don't really get into like the zombies in the Call of Duties. Like early Black Ops and World at War zombies were really fun, but now it just gets so complicated. You have like coins to find, you have like concession stands to go to, you have all the different routes to go, different weapons, 15,000 different parts you can get for different machines, and it's just like you pretty much have to look up a guide online to even like play that properly. Like they did do one cool thing with the zombies in Infinite Warfare where you could turn on this kind of like guided tour mode where it'll like walk you through every single thing you look at, which is kind of nice, but it just really zombies just isn't doing for me anymore. I mean, it's not like it was in like Black Ops 1.
So with all,
like, I'm not.
I have to ask the next natural question is, after playing that Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty, are you even more excited for Boots on the Ground, World War II?
Oh my god, brother! I can't wait for, dude. I think there's so much potential for the multiplayer in World War II to be good, but I'm not done talking about Infinite Warfare.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
There's one more part of Infinite Warfare that I played, and that's the single player.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And holy shit, the single player is fucking awesome.
Really?
It's one of the best single players in any Call of Duty I've played.
Okay.
Honestly.
Wow.
It's got great characters. It's got really likable characters, really well written. The way it's done, it really breaks away from kind of like the mission by mission structure of the Call of Duties. Everything is just, there are no cutscenes with like loading screens that like fade to black, fade back in. You're on the other side of the world. There's none of that. Like there's an intro mission that goes into where you're kind of on your ship, and you can pick between like, there are side missions to do, and there are like missions where you like infiltrate like another ship, or if you are just in your like spaceship shooting other ships down. And I thought that combat was really done well, like shooting the other like the TIE fighter fights or whatever. Like those are good. The game just looks amazing, and like the missions are designed really well for the single player. So like I'm not really too far in it. Like I'm maybe like 3 hours into the single player, but I've been enjoying that far more than I would have expected. And I think that is like, without a doubt, the best quality about that game is the single player, and it's absolutely worth playing if you get the chance.
Nice.
About how long did it take you to play through the single player? How long is that campaign?
I haven't finished yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, I'm only like 3-4 hours into it. But
Okay.
Like the thing with Call of Duty single players, I have to kind of like pace myself. Like after 1 or 2 like hours of playing, I just get like tired of like you kind of start to notice in like repetition, like it's definitely one of the more shooting gallery-ish like kind of single player games. But for Call of Duty games, like it was a pretty good single player so far from what I played. But yeah, I recommend that.
Did you finish Outlast 2?
I've not touched that game yet, honestly.
I know it's not happening.
I feel bad.
I know it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's okay.
In the future, I'll finish it. We'll talk about it. But no, I'll stop talking about Call of Duty. I'm sorry, guys. But other than that, I played this indie game. I actually got a key for. It's called Bokita Heartfelt Reunion. It's like an open world exploration puzzle game. Played all of that. I don't think there's an NDA. I mean, it's a good game, but I'll have a review come up soon, so
Okay.
I won't really go. I don't want to get in trouble, with these these indie devs. They just randomly reached out to me. I don't know how they got my I don't know how they got my email address, but I just get a like a message one day saying, "Hey David, we saw you liked The Unfinished Swan," which is like a game I reviewed 2 years ago.
Okay.
They're like, "We think you'd like our game." And I mean, for me, that's like a developer, like some indie dev reaching out to me to play their game. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, I played some more Overwatch. I got back into that. That game is actually still pretty fun. I mean, yeah, I can only play Soldier because he's easy, and I suck dick at the game. Like I one game I switched to like Winston. I jump and I die. Someone hops on the mic and goes, "Yo, Winston, what are you doing, fam?" And then people in the chat are like, "LOL, level 16." Like, yeah, and so didn't play too much of that. But yeah, I mean, it didn't take too long for the salt to kick in. But yeah, one thing I actually played today, complete surprise when I was out like shopping for Mother's Day, stopped in at Best Buy, and they actually had the demo for the Crash Bandicoot remaster.
Oh yeah,
playable. Yeah, so I played through like 2 of the 3 levels they had there, and like that, it just feels exactly what I was hoping for. The game looks amazing, and that playing it then like is really like really validated that purchase. Or I mean, I haven't purchased it yet, but I feel like it's going to be a no-brainer to pick that game up, going by what I played. Because I was kind of worried, like going from where you could only play with a D-pad, like how it was going to transition over.
Yeah.
But it just feels perfect. It's a great game. I know it's going to be great when it comes out.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I played.
Really? Because I heard somewhere that you might have played a little bit of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and I feel like you might be skipping over.
I don't want to talk about Counter-Strike.
Okay. All right.
Oh my god. All right. I'll recap what happened. There are a couple excellent Twitch clips you can find on our good friend Timmy at the Q's Twitter. I get home. I was about to hop on my favorite game, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
When I get a message on Steam asking me to play some Counter-Strike from my friend Timmy. And I hop in the Discord, I hop in ABL's Discord, and I notice, well, Timmy's not in a lobby. There's nobody with him. So I ask, who's he playing with? He's playing with Hunter, Hunter Antis. I'm not sure. Like, I think it's his name. Hunter and 3 other people I didn't know. And so I figured, you know what? Why not? I like Counter-Strike. I've been getting into really focusing and like really getting into a competitive game like that. Like I've really been enjoying Counter-Strike.
Right. You're thinking like, how bad could it go? Like, this is gonna be a fun time with the bros.
No, yeah, it's like people I play with. If we're all gonna be in a Discord, we're all gonna be trying really well to win.
Yeah.
And we're all gonna be, coordinating with each other. Going for the W's.
Sure.
That it was the most toxic game of Counter-Strike I've ever played in my life. You've got, and Timmy was fine. Everyone else was fine. It was fucking Hunter, like going out of his way to block windows. I've seen get in people's way. Like, I really can't do it justice. I'm begging Timmy to.
The clips are great. Honestly, if we can put the clips in the podcast posts on the website for the article. Honestly, you should just put it. The one clip where he blocks you and your nade does damage and then kicks you from the server is one of the best clips.
I was so mad. I went into Gev and I was going on Apartments of Mirage. Throw a nade. He blocks the nade. It blows him in front of us. I switched it into the Gev to kind of shoot him a little. I was like, oh my god! Shoot once. I instantly get 30-minute cooldown. Because like
pretty good.
There's so much more to it too. It's not just that one clip.
No,
like
it
the entire game. I got in a corner. I get blocked in a corner. The only way I can get out or shoot the other team is the team kill because they're in my way. Which that's great to have on my record. Thanks, mates. And like there's just so much more to that game that like it's really worth watching that VOD because you need to understand the anger I was feeling. It wasn't just that one clip. Like there's this.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about it
clips
anymore.
in the
And
chat.
I'm never playing another game with Hunter in my life.
There you go.
And if you ever happen to see me in Discord or something with Hunter, if you're like, you don't even have to have talked to any of us in your life. You can just be like a viewer who's chilling in the Discord or a listener. I want you to jump in there and talk some sense into me and stop me.
Dang.
All
right.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right.
But
There you go.
So that kind of I think I need like another good game of Counter-Strike to
kind of wash that one
some
out.
Yeah, a palate cleanser. Yeah,
Totally.
To kind of, one I can actually focus on winning instead of trolling.
Right.
Which was what those they were doing. Oh my god, I don't want to think about that anymore. I'm getting like.
I love how triggered you got by me bringing it up. Yeah. Flashbacks.
Oh my god.
All right.
It was not a good night.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that painful experience and the other info on COD and the other games. Yingity, what about you, man? What have you been playing this week?
I'm sort of always passively playing Counter-Strike every now and then, but more specifically, I've been playing a lot of PUBG, as I think a lot of people have.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of out of stubbornness, I've been playing solos because I'm just convinced that I'm going to win one, and it has yet to happen. I got like second place on like the 6th game I've ever played of that game.
Okay.
And since then, it's just been all downhill. But I'm having a lot of fun with that game. I really like the feel of it. It's the first battle royale game I've ever really gone into. And then on stream for my channel, I've been playing Night in the Woods, which is a very interesting game. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet. If you're unfamiliar with the game, it's a narrative-driven sort of like the dialogue and the way that the story's being told kind of reminds me of Life is Strange. The way that it's written is somewhat similar in that it's just very much trying to like develop your emotional attachment to some characters and develop them. And they're really committing to that, because I'm about 6 hours into that game and I don't know what the story's about yet. 6 hours is just you sort of talking to characters, getting to know your own character, building those relationships until I suppose they eventually arc into the story. But the art design is very cool. The whole game feels very unique in that sense. I really don't have that much to say about it because I don't really know what direction it's going to go in right now.
That's crazy.
But that's really all I've been playing so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I was watching you play it when I was in the bath, like I talked about earlier. But yeah, it seems like you said, the character development, everything. I mean, 6 hours is a long time to not really know where something's going.
Yeah,
so
I'm at 6 hours now, and it feels like they're just starting to get into whatever the main story arc is going to be. But yeah, everything prior to that is them sort of capitalizing on how they're telling the story. They have a very unique sense of humor with how they're doing it, which is why it reminds me of Life is Strange. Like they're trying to build this I don't know, world that's focused on your relationship with these characters. Like you get into a couple of fights and it's like some very sweet moments, but it doesn't really contribute to what the plot is going to be, I think, overall. So
yeah,
so it's interesting to say the least.
Okay, no, that's cool. Yeah, definitely. The art style definitely does look very interesting. I'll be interested to hear once you finish it or see you finish it, what your takeaway is. Any idea on how long the game's actually supposed to take? Have you peeked at all?
Not really. I think the reviews that people were posting, most of them had like 15 to 20 hours in it or something like that.
Okay.
But one of the things that people are saying is that it's very replayable because there's certain very certain arcing decisions you can make that you can't really go back and see all the other options. So people are saying it's very easy to go back and replay and spend a day with this character instead of this character and see how that relationship develops. But as I said, since I haven't really finished the game, I don't really know how any of those decisions impact the story just yet.
Cool. Okay. Very neat. I will actually no. I'll go last. Brad, go ahead. What have you been playing this week?
Battlegrounds, but actually kind of feeling a little burned out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of have a problem with finding a game lately. I backed Strafe a while ago. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
But
I didn't mean to laugh, by the way. We talked about it before, so I know where you're going with this.
I know, yeah. It's just like I put 30 minutes in it. It just didn't really grab me. It was, but it was, I don't know. It looked pretty promising. It's actually kind of fun when you get in the rush of things, but it's just like I don't see how it kind of like sticks out. Like I wouldn't personally recommend it to people right now, but Um, but yeah, so Battlegrounds, Strafe, can't get back into Rust. I'm having troubles finding games the last couple weeks, so yeah, I don't know. Nothing really new for me. So
Okay. All right. You sound like the definition of sad frogman right now when it comes to gaming, Brad. We need to find you something. We need to find the spark for you. Maybe Infinite Warfare, Katie. Maybe the single player Infinite Warfare.
I'm telling you, dude, it's really well done.
Okay.
It's a great time.
God damn it, Brad. The photo. Okay. Anyway, Brad constantly changing his. This is why you need to watch live, because Brad basically shows his emotions and mental state through his profile photos on the Twitch app. So, all right, I'll go real quick. I've got two of note. Obviously, the normal Counter-Strike and Battlegrounds, but NBA Playgrounds, which came out on PC this last week.
I watched that. Yeah,
I saw you playing that.
Yeah, it is. It was a lot of fun, and I've been playing it actually off stream sometimes later at night just to kind of grind player packs and level up characters, which has an impact on online. And yeah, it's a $20 game. It's think of basically NBA Jam meets NBA Street, kind of. Has some of the elements of a lot of the elements of NBA Jam, but then also some tweaks. If you ever played, I mean, NBA Street Volume 2 is probably my favorite kind of arcade basketball game of all time. And it was funny because I recently just been talking about how much like I wish there was a arcade basketball game on PC that I could play. And so it's definitely like in a stage right now, I think it's probably worth $20. I think you'll get a good amount of time out of it. They right now you can only play like you can play online 1v1, but you can't have like 4 people play where you control one. It's a 2v2 game. So it would they're patching in apparently the ability to have 4-player multiplayer where you control a player and then whoever you're with controls the other player. So that'll be good once they patch that in. But yeah, no, it's really good. The mechanics are really solid. The sound effects, game runs well. For a lot of people, it was crashing just on PC and they couldn't get it going. I've been lucky; I haven't had a single crash. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I think for $20, if you're looking for, I don't know, I think sports games in general. I guess the offerings have gotten a lot better on PC over the last couple years, but it's a lot of fun if you kind of want to relive some of those older game glory days. Like I just want them to release the Street franchises on PC. Like, dude, I will NBA Street, NFL Street, even FIFA Street. I played all the Streets back in the day. I just really love that franchise. So this is like a good, I don't know, it's a good version of it. Not exactly what I want, but pretty close. So pretty fun game. And then I also this week we finally, after almost 2 years, we returned to Zombie Army Trilogy. Nick Fenton, Sark, Sham, and I. And it took us almost 6 hours, but we finally beat the final level after much frustration. And we were all about to give up. We were basically on one last run on the final, on basically fighting Hitler at the end. You have to do this basically three-tiered boss fight where you have to throw the skeleton into the hell mouth. And anyway, I won't spoil it. I'm excited to see the edits that are going to come out of this because I know Sham recorded and Sark streamed it. I streamed it as well, but it was and let me just tell you, the finish was incredible. It was like, and this is always how it happens when we get past the section. It's like we're all so frustrated that we're like, all right, this is the last one. And I'm not going to brag too much, but I came in pretty clutch. I came in pretty heroic at the end, so I was pretty proud of that. And so yeah, that was fun, and it was good to kind of get the boys back together and play that. So yeah, that was basically what I've been playing this week. And I think
I was just thinking about why I've been playing games, and this isn't really what I've been playing, but it's been what I've been watching. And I talked to you a little bit about it, Scott, but I've been watching a lot of GTA RP on Twitch.
yes.
And the content that spawns is just so nutty, like some of that stuff. And it's almost addicting. Like I almost want to play myself, even though I'm not really that kind of personality to play, but like it's just like, because it puts a whole different spin on like the G2 or GTA
G2A
that I'm
give me flashbacks, dude.
Yeah. PTSD. But yeah, I don't know. It's like Lyric and those guys are fucking genius with it too. If anybody else watches, hopefully they can relate. But like, I love watching the the sheriffs specifically because like they're like retired cops that RP as like cops in the game.
Right.
And the crazy thing is because of the mod system, like they actually have a jail and a prison and like custom cop cars and even SWAT vehicles and stuff like that.
Mm.
It is so nutty. But I don't know if you haven't. Just next time Lyric's doing it, just put it up on the second monitor and watch it, and that's some crazy shit will go down, and I guarantee it. But you should check it out. But sorry, didn't mean to sidetrack there, but I was just thinking about why I haven't been playing many games. So.
Yeah, dude. This is the start. You're gonna get in there, Brad. You're gonna RP a character. I just want to think you should go in with a character that's just the opposite of everything that you are, like, because you're kind of deliberate when you speak. You're kind of more introspective sometimes. Like I want you to play like a flamboyant, super outgoing, over the top. Like I can't even imagine what that would be like, Brad. But I think that's what you should. I think that's what you should go for. I think you should just
everything I wouldn't be like.
Everything you wouldn't be like in real life, and just let yourself loose. I would love to see that. But no, you sent me some stuff, and I watched a little bit of the RP stuff, and you sent me a clip that was just incredible, pretty recently. Yeah, and I was like, man,
yeah,
that was really fun.
Some crazy shit happening.
All right,
check that out.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so real quick here, we're gonna jump into some news, but let's talk about what's going on in KBMOD, and of course, we're gonna mention the Extra Life LAN, which is happening on 8/18 through 8/20. Okay, just mark it in your calendars. All right, get it. We've been talking about this every week, so we're going to mention it every week. August 18th, 19th, and 20th. Just keep in mind. Don't be like, oh, I forgot it was this weekend when we're in there and we're trying to marathon and raise money. Okay, you have no excuse, especially if you pay attention to the podcast. So we're excited about that in August. And then there's a review on KBMOD.com of Stardew Valley. So go ahead and check that out. And
yeah, it was a community submission. So if you're interested in writing for the site or anything like that, feel free to hit us up on Twitter or email community@kbmod.com. Or you can also send your podcast questions, which we'll get to later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so if you guys just a heads up, if you're looking to donate, if you have just some spare change or something, and you want to help out some kids, Extra Life's a great resource for that. And usually what we do is we contact vendors and things like that to get prizes for people that donate to our Extra Life campaigns.
Yep.
And KBMOD hosts a big LAN party in Pittsburgh, and we have the venue locked down. We have the dates locked down. We're contacting people. Just even if it's like, if you can help out in some way now or something, like seriously, like I just put a little bit of money away every year just to know, like, okay, I know I'm gonna want to help people out with their charity stuff. Like, help us out. I'm just gonna sell us hard, like KBMOD Stream Team and the Internet Famous or whatever the Extra Life team is called now. We need to stay up on top. We need to be on the front page at all times, for contributions. And what better way to make sure we stay up there by like helping out kids and possibly winning prizes. So just keep that in mind. August 18th through the 20th. So.
Yep. All right.
Cool.
We are now going to talk about. I'm not even going to try to segue into this because I'm kind of mad we're talking about it, but we do need to talk about it, and it is the first thing we're talking about. So I don't know if this is an indictment of this podcast. It probably is, but so you guys know, right, about Carter Wilkerson. You might not know that name off the top of your head, but the dude who asked Wendy's how many retweets it would take for him to win, chicken nuggets for life. Well, it turns out that he didn't get the number. He didn't get the number that Wendy's told him, right? You remember, the original tweet from Carter was, "Yo, Wendy's, how many retweets for a year of free chicken nuggets?" That's what it was. And Wendy's said 18 million, and it kind of went viral, and everyone's retweeting to help him out. Well, he didn't get 18 million, but he did break the record for most retweeted tweet of all time. Ellen DeGeneres, Kim Kardashian, he out retweeted. He had more retweets than anything Barack Obama ever tweeted about. And Wendy's basically sent him the certificate with the confirmation. And I just want to know, Katie, how jealous are you that this man has won a full year of free chicken nugs at any time? Anytime.
Yeah, that's quite a privilege to have. That's quite something to boast. Like, he's basically, I mean, that's going to go down in history. But when it comes to, I can't really say the idea of constant chicken nuggets. Like, there are better things you could have gone.
Right.
But,
I mean,
if he had tweeted,
but that's the thing, you can get your
fondue fries, then he would have had something going on there.
You would have been good with that. I mean, that's true. Yeah, the whole friend thing though, being like, I'm sure everybody's hitting him up like, hey, can you take me to Wendy's?
Hey, let me get some nuggets.
Let me get some nugs. I mean, yeah. I mean, what was your guys' thoughts on the whole thing in general though? Did it annoy you? Were you like?
I mean, it didn't annoy me.
No,
it's
okay. It's kind of a feel-good kind of story. It's free promotion for Wendy's,
Yeah, I mean, and they don't. Something went to charity at the end, which I mean,
right.
I just want to read this headline, and I just want us to think about this for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, what kind of world do we live in? U.S. teen breaks retweet record. Okay. Spurred by love of chicken nuggets. And then the headline picture is the little shit eating a chicken nugget straight into his...
He does have a very, very punchable face. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie. He does look like somebody that I could punch in the face. But you're right. No, it is a little bit sobering. It is a little bit... You're right.
I just want to know, they're taking out of, science books and history books stuff about evolution, but you know what? 10 years
he'll be in the future,
they might have in books about this guy breaking the retweet record on chicken nuggets. That's just, my mind is just I just don't understand what's going on in the world right now. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, we will talk about Wendy's did pledge $100,000 to a children's adoption foundation, so that did come out of it. If you were, a little bit annoyed by the state that you find, our country in. And he did also, though, you want to talk about his Twitter ballooned to 105,000 Twitter followers after this. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, with that many retweets, but and he
got verified.
Okay, stop. Wait a minute. Now I'm actually upset. Not that I give a shit about that, but what? I guess he got verified because he broke the record. I mean, I guess that makes sense, though. He did,
Yeah, I mean,
I guess
millions of people talking about
how to have
chicken nuggets guy, and I think that deserves. I've seen more objectable things for all
just in case, for all the fakers out there who wanted to pretend to be the guy that actually did it. He's the one who holds
yeah, he was the legit guy. I mean, if you have 200,000 followers, for any reason, I think you should be verified. But
God,
yeah, it is just kind of ridiculous.
But there you go. So there we go. We can put a. God, his face is so punchable. I can't look at the article anymore. I'm sorry. But there you go. So just again, only the finest, hard-hitting reporting on the facts here on KBMOD. Did you have any thought on this? I'm curious. Yang, you've been a little bit quiet about this topic. Does this strike you as a strictly an American kind of thing? Would this happen in Canada? Could this happen in Canada?
No, that doesn't strike me as strictly American. When I first saw this, I treated it like how. I don't know. It reminded me of a Tumblr post where they're just banking on relatability, right?
Sure,
they're just oh my God, I love me some nuggets, and
yeah,
and it's just people sharing it because they're basically saying, wow, that's so me. I would do this, and so I kind of forgot about it. In all honesty, until it got put into the doc today.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, that didn't strike me as anything particularly American. That just struck me as I don't know. That just seems like a thing people do nowadays. You tweet at companies, and social media is the new thing that, companies are interacting with to, I don't know, be relatable, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
But I am surprised that they actually followed through on that because, again, this seems like one of those Tumblr post things where it's yeah, that's not really realistic, but people like it because it's funny and relatable, and everyone loves chicken nuggets, right? So.
Right. I have to say, I mean, Wendy's has been getting a lot of wins recently from their savagery. just whoever's running their account, right? The whole McDonald's thing. I think we even mentioned it a couple weeks ago. And then they get this kind of falls into their lap where this blows up, and now they're able to donate to a charity. I mean, again, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just they've just gotten a lot of free publicity out of this, so they gotta be happy. And they handled it well.
That's exactly it, right? Like the kind of publicity they got from this, you can't purchase.
No,
like you can't put like do this in the same way that you do a commercial or you do like a radio ad. Like it's not the same thing.
Right.
So like this is a huge win for a company to be able to pull something off like this.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
So there you go. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I think from one internet sensation to another, I wanted to talk about what's going on.
Can you talk a little louder, Brad? For some reason you're quiet for me. Is he quiet for you, or maybe it's just me?
Really?
Okay, now you sound better. Were you farther from your mic?
No, I didn't change.
Okay.
It sounded fine to me.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I think it might be the Twitch app.
It could be the
Works
Twitch app.
so great.
It could be.
I got an update a couple days ago asking for me to verify my Curse installation, and I just thought, I don't have Curse installed on my computer. What are you talking about?
I was just gonna say maybe speak with your chest, Brad, but okay, go ahead. I'm just
Damn.
kidding.
I was saying from one internet sensation to another.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Payday 2. So what's happening with Payday 2 is they're putting up all their DLC currently on sale, 85% off until the 8th of June. And then I'm guessing on the 9th of June or something, they're taking it all off and bundling it with Payday 2 and making it calling it Payday 2 Ultimate Edition. Now, that's cool. Whatever. I don't really care. What's interesting about this is what they're doing afterwards. So they're creating Payday 2 Ultimate Edition. It'll cost $45. And then you pay $45, you get Payday 2 and all the DLC it's ever had up until that point. But then it's not including temporary campaigns, and this is where it gets weird. They're doing an Ethan and Hila H3H3 character pack, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So it's DLC that will be available separately, representing Ethan and Hila from H3H3. The subsequent revenue from Ethan and Hila character pack is going straight to Ethan and Hila. We're doing this because we appreciate them and wanted to find a way to help them out financially so they can continue to do what they do best. Like, I just want to get your guys' thoughts, because this is like I've seen some content creators like make their own games, but I've never seen anything like this where a studio goes out of their way to purposely support like and integrate content creators into their games.
Right.
Like, so I want to hear what
like speedrunners, I think, that had like a bunch of like YouTube celebrities and that, right? Am I thinking of another game? I'm pretty sure it was speedrunners, but there's this one. I remember there's an indie game a while ago. Oh god, the trailer played. Now it's it's super loud. There's one like indie game that had like a collage of a bunch of YouTubers, but yeah, that was fine. But like something like this, where it's something that's solely dedicated. Yeah, exactly. It's Payday. Is Ethan is he known for robbing banks?
No, this just strikes me as there's just people at Overkill are just massive fans of H3H3, and they are forced. I'm not saying it's bad, but there's no real connection there, right? This is just their way of feeling like, hey, we could raise some money due to the whole YouTube stuff and everything, which I think is fine, but it doesn't feel like any kind of natural. It's odd. Like, you kind of go like, why? Like, is there any actual connection there? Have they ever talked about Payday? No. It's so, again, this just strikes me as the guys at Overkill, or the guys and girls at Overkill. I'm sure there's women who work there too. I don't want to get
disgusting.
Are just fans. I mean, it's basically what they're saying, and they want to help them out. I mean, I don't think it goes further than that. And I think they know. I mean, I guess you're also banking on. I mean, a lot of people watch H3H3, so I mean, I'm sure that there's gonna be people that own Payday too. But it is a little bit weird. It doesn't feel. It's not the most natural kind of thing, I guess. Maybe that's where my strangeness is coming from for me.
So for a little background, because I'm seeing this in chat, H3H3 is getting sued right now for defamation of like a React video they
Right,
did
sure.
on I forget what his name is even, but just some content creator, and he's suing them, and they needed money obviously to pay for it because
Right.
lawsuits are cheap. Lawyers specifically are really expensive, especially their first lawyers. Video game lawyers or whatever were way more than anybody anticipated. And they disagreed on things, whatever, but it cost them a lot of money. That's not saying though, like, they I think it was Philly, what's his name, Philly DeFranco.
Philly
He
D.
started a GoFundMe for them. They got a shit ton of money,
Right.
and they started something basically saying, we'll use this money for our thing, and then if we have anything left over, we'll help out other people. Well, I imagine they're still burning through that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
that's not really the point. I think they got that on lockdown. Whatever. It's the YouTube ad revenue that's being cut right now for a lot of content creators, including H3, which are considered controversial or not family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have everything in one basket, aka just YouTube, and you're not doing something like Patreon or something,
right,
that's scary. So we're seeing them now doing like sponsored videos from like D brand skins, for instance. It was like even their campaign was called Feed Ethan. Like they're doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But to just offer, like, this is just unreal to me, I think, because it's like, how far off do you have to be? Like I just don't understand. Are we gonna see, like, this is just nuts to me, because there's no, like we talked about, like,
there's no natural connection here. This is what I'm saying, that this just strikes me as the people are over there are somewhat super fans. I don't know how else to.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
You
else
think
to
it'd have to be that, because I don't think there's an obvious win for the payday guys to be doing this.
Well, they even say themselves, so we're doing this because we appreciate them and want to find a way to help them financially so they can do what they do as best as they can. As content creators, we at Overkill get 0% of the revenue. So, like, that's pretty crazy. Like, I just wonder, is this YouTube? I mean, it's, in my world, it's mainstream, but to like say that I'm a YouTuber that does React videos and now I'm going to be on every single console and PC that owns like a copy of Payday 2, and then if they decide to pay the $5, they can play with me. Like, are we officially like considering it like really mainstream now? Like, that is nuts in my mind. Like,
I mean, I think I mean, I think a lot of ways, depending on. I mean, I think YouTube is main. I think being a YouTuber is. I mean, it's weird. I mean, again, it's picked up over the last, I don't know, however long YouTube's been around. It's like at another level, but yeah, I mean, I think realistically, I mean, we know the kind of money, I mean, that people are making and can make on YouTube. It definitely is. I think it feels like a weird jump, or whatever, how you want to call it, mainstream. Like, when you using the word mainstream, I guess it's all a matter of perspective. But I mean, YouTube is. I mean, is there anything more mainstream than YouTube anymore? Right? Isn't like YouTube by definition mainstream? People, like, it's in every kind of people. Like every show I watch references YouTube. Every like, oh, even the cat video stuff. That's even years old now. We're like, oh, I'm watching cat videos on YouTube. That was like 7 years ago when that started becoming a thing. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like it's
single,
already
like, piece of new technology you get like has YouTube installed on it. Really,
Yeah.
like tablets, phones.
well, that's the thing. Yeah, I know that it's installed, but it's just like, no, I don't know. I just think I still wouldn't call it mainstream, because like, even I mean, I think Facebook, for instance, has numbers outdoing YouTube,
True.
even though YouTube's been around longer. For instance, has it? I don't know, but I feel like it has been. But like, I just find it interesting that, like, I think we can completely say now we're at this turning point where, it's just not TV. It's not people on billboards. It's we can now officially. I just feel like this is a huge point where we have a huge title that are going out of their way to incorporate an online dedicated celebrity of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And
I understand the angle
that
you're
just blows
saying.
my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I want to talk about what Mike's saying in chat, which is really true, is that, at least as far as like the payday stuff, is that for Overkill, it's like the obvious win, he's saying, is to try and rebuild some of the bridges they burned about a year ago when they implemented their crate system by saying they're pro content creators and fuck all the copyright trolls. So they did. I mean, payday, we talked about that, but they definitely took a massive loss with their community with a lot of stuff that they did. So I mean, the PR sense does make a lot. I mean, because you know, for their community, there's going to be a lot of crossover with H3 and YouTube, and like, so they're definitely getting a PR win, even though it may seem foolish.
But my implication was that it's still a weird PR thing to go for, right? Like, out of all the possible ways they could have tried to pursue that kind of rebuilding bridges, supporting H3 directly by creating it, it's just a very
weird way to
specific way to go about it, and also very overdue if that's what they're going to go for.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So the whole situation just seems very, very odd to me, but it does make sense. That I guess that would be the only connection that's there.
Right. Oh, and I didn't realize that they actually announced H3 DLC as a joke on April 1st. Now they're actually making it. That's interesting. Crazy in chat pointed that out. I didn't even realize that. So interesting. Okay. Yeah, but really, really interesting story, and I agree. I know what you're saying, Brad, in the sense of like having somebody whose entire career has been YouTube and no other media, right? To have them now, like you said, on a massively sold title like Payday, as like a playable character, it's a good point. I do feel that. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, potentially, I mean, even if people don't have Payday, the people that really want to support H3 anyway will probably buy the game and buy the DLC just for the sake of that. So that's the other thing that I think is another consideration by Overkill, is that they'll probably move a lot more units, even if people like, because they're going to make a video about this, right? And so even people that maybe are casual gamers or don't have Payday are going to buy the game and then buy the DLC, and that's going to move even more. I'm not saying that they're just doing it just for that, but that's another factor. Like I think they're gonna sell a lot more copies of the game on top of that. Just for people that want to support.
I think I think well, a lot of people don't know, but like Ethan is actually a PC gamer himself.
Yeah.
I remember seeing highlights of him and our good old boy JonTron playing like Counter-Strike, for instance.
Yep.
Which I thought was pretty interesting. But so maybe it's just the title that Ethan's previously played a lot of, even. Who knows? I want to see a crossover with Salvia Eric or Commentikit and Rainbow Six Siege. I'm just putting it out there,
Okay.
Do you think we'll get a Dark Souls DLC with me?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Katie's got to get the Dark Souls.
Didn't they say they were putting Dark Souls on the shelf anyways?
They did.
As it should be.
Wow, don't hit him in the heart like that, dude.
Come on, man. Let's just think about what we're saying and how our words affect other people.
Suzuki Atami Matsui, or what's the guy's name?
They're continuing those kind of games, just not the specific Dark Souls series.
Right. The name.
Like, they're gonna make more games like Bloodborne.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay.
All right, kid.
Damn.
Kid.
All right. Hit him with the kid. All right. Let's jump into some quick hits here. I really hope this is quick, because I honestly, every time the word BioWare comes up, I literally couldn't care less about anything BioWare does. I do. I really do. But I'm glad. I know a lot of people love BioWare, but there's a report that Mass Effect is on hiatus, and BioWare Montreal is transitioning to being a support studio. And as you know, I'm not obviously a Mass Effect fan myself, just haven't played the franchise. Yingity, I think you're a Mass Effect fan though.
Yeah, I am.
And what is
I played all the first original 3 games. I haven't finished Andromeda yet, just because of my schedule. But yes, I am very much into Mass Effect.
Okay. Does this strike you as any? Does this concern you? I mean, I guess you haven't beaten the newest Mass Effect, so maybe you haven't. Maybe you aren't emotionally ready to make a judgment.
This whole the transition doesn't strike me as a surprise. I don't think.
Yeah.
Especially given how tenuous the launch of Andromeda was, with all the technical issues that was plaguing it. Obviously, it's not getting the best reviews in the world, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. I didn't manage to go through the entire article, but I'm not sure if this was like a loss of confidence or if this is a logistical issue with the Montreal studio, because that Montreal studio has sort of a plagued history of releasing games that didn't live up to at least technical standards.
Yeah, and again, they're saying things like, to be clear, this does not mean layoffs, reallocation of resources, but again, that reads to me as layoffs. But anyway, I've heard all the buzzwords. I mean, but, it's
I mean, what's the alternative? I mean, they're not going to publish an article and say, no, we hate those guys.
No, a bit of a PR move, but what I'm curious to what the actual sales numbers were for. I mean, again, they're at the beginning of the article, they talk about the fact that, you know, that fiscally, like, they're still okay and stuff like that. But I know it didn't sell as much as they want. I want to be interested to see hard numbers on that. But I definitely don't think it definitely wasn't the resounding success. I think that they, for that, you know, like you said, the launch and the amount of development time they put into that game, you know, it was a meme for a long while till some of the patches came through. And I think it's still a bit of a meme. Not saying it was a terrible game, but, you know, we talked about it a bit on this cast, but a lot of people that were really excited for it just kind of ended up, I mean, you know, we talked about Timmy earlier, but Timmy at the Q, friend of the cast and stuff, he was a huge fan. I think he ended with a 5 out of 10 was his take on the game. So that's pretty, I mean that's, you know.
The difference with, I mean, we've seen it with other games before too, when there's, say, like a first original series of games that comes to a close, and then a studio decides to sort of reopen it and continue a story arc, or in this case, continue something in the same universe. It's the difference between organically falling in love with a franchise versus having an expectations for its sequel, so to speak. You're always going to have those issues where expectations are going to be set very, very high, and I mean, rarely do we ever see that being met. It's just that, in addition to those inherent expectations not being met, because a lot of them might be unrealistic, just the technical issues on top of that sort of, you know, they feed the flames, and I think the whole thing eventually just spirals out of control.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I agree. Brad, any thoughts on this, KD?
Well, I think it's surprising that they're transitioning. I know that a lot of them are going to transition into like the next Star Wars Battlefront, but the fact that they basically are, I think, basically putting the series on hiatus before they even, I don't think they did any DLC for this, which I think a lot of Mass Effect fans were looking forward to, because sometimes we even see titles like Bethesda, for instance, with like Fallout 4 DLC. Like sometimes the DLC is better than the actual game, because they listen to the audience and see what they liked and didn't like about the game, and then, you know, kind of put that into some DLC. And I know my girlfriend's like a huge fan, and she's really bummed to hear this, actually. Like, even for how rough the launch was and the game was, you know, it's a very committed fan base, and to be honest, I like the genre that Mass Effect is anyway, so this kind of bums me out as well. But no other thoughts.
Oh. Yeah, that's EA for you. They did the same thing with you know, Dead Space 3. They have one game that's a slip up that doesn't sell 100 million, you know, units, and then they cancel the series. So sucks for Mass Effect fans, but that's EA for you.
Man, Katie just coming in like the dad, like those are the breaks, kid. Sorry, you know.
Yeah, it sucks, but you know.
That's true. You have been jaded from Dead Space, though. That makes sense. Like you've kind of gone through it. You're like, you know, we know what EA does.
Yeah, I mean, Dead Space 3 sold well. It just didn't sell exceptionally well. Like it wasn't amazing, so they canceled the series. Same thing with Mass Effect Andromeda. It was like kind of, from what I understand, it was like kind of lackluster sales. I mean, it was a fine game. Dead Space 3 is a fine game, but they're canceling the series that has a lot of fans because it's not, you know, it's not Battlefront or whatever. I mean, it's EA we're talking about. I mean, never get attached to a series that EA is working on. That's the lesson to take from this.
Yeah.
Like Medal of Honor, RIP.
Oh god, don't even talk about the last Medal of Honor game. That thing was an abomination. I remember playing that. It's just so sad to see what happened to that franchise. But all right. Next, in the way of things transitioning or disappearing altogether, Alan Wake, which is a game near and dear to my heart, right around the time before I went full streaming decided to full stream full time. It was like towards the beginning of that. I had played Alan Wake, and it's a game I really enjoy. It's definitely a little bit campy and over the top, but it does a lot of pretty cool things. But it's actually going to be vanishing from stores because of a music licensing issue. And on May 16th, it's going to be gone. Sorry, what?
Mafia. Wasn't the first or second Mafia? Like,
yes, that's right. It did. That happened with Mafia as well. Yeah, same kind of thing. So they're trying to get it worked out, but yeah, it's gonna be disappearing from the store while they try to figure it out. The sad thing is that the DLC is gonna remain around, and the DLC, Alan Wake's American Nightmare DLC, has none of the charm, or it's just repetitive and has like the fact that DLC is still around. Alan Wake's American Nightmare DLC so that doesn't have music issues, so that's going to stay around, which is kind of weird. While the main game's actually gone, but I couldn't even get through the DLC because it was just so repetitive and boring. So it's kind of shitty that the bad DLC is staying around in the actual game itself, which I think is definitely worth a play. It's pretty fun. Is going away, but
so I've already got it in my Steam library, so it's still going to be there. Right?
Yes, it's just a purchase issue.
In fact, like the article even mentions that they're encouraging everyone to sort of, if this game interests you, buy it now, because I think the game and the DLC is 90% off in Steam right now.
Wow.
Yep, exactly.
There it is.
So it's like I don't know what full price is, but I know you can pay like $3 for it right now.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. So there you go. So if you're interested, get that deal. I definitely think it's definitely worth a playthrough. It's pretty fun. All right, and finally for the quick hits before we get into the new releases. Bethesda, can I just say something? All right, I'm just going to say, every time we talk about Bethesda, I know people love their games, and I'm coming from a place of somebody that has never been able to... I got into Skyrim, okay, we'll say a bit, but I know people love Bethesda, but they do shit like this, okay? So Pray for the Gods, which is a game that's coming out. It hasn't come out yet, right? It's going to be released.
It's in development right now. Yeah,
it's in development.
Really successful Kickstarter, but it's still in the works.
Pray for the Gods. It's a pretty interesting looking game, but
yeah, it's like a Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah,
it's really faithful to like that kind of game. Really artsy. It's like you're on a snow-covered island. Game looks dope.
Right.
But
so you would think the spelling of Pray for the Gods, it's and they spelled it Prey, for the gods, not Pray. Well, there was a little game that came out, this last week or 2 weeks ago. I think this last week, Prey, of course, a Bethesda title. And what do you guys think? What do you guys think the new name for this game is now? I want you to tell me without looking at this article in chat. I know we're not supposed to interact with chat, but Brandon's not here, so I'm doing whatever the. Speaking of Brandon, why would you?
Dad's not home, so
to his name. Dad's not here.
Yeah. So Bethesda, in quote, they said in the article. Let me pull it up here. It sounded like they're talking about how the brand identity for Prey, is it said like let's see here. Oh, there's a great quote. I'm trying to find it. It said like, if we don't oppose the mark, we risk losing our Prey trademark, and that isn't acceptable. Unfortunately, that's how trademark law works. I'm like, dude, no one's gonna look at Pray for the Gods and think it's like some kind of expansion. Like,
right.
It's
I don't know. It seems a little bit of a stretch for them to say that. But yeah, so basically, Pray for the Gods is going to have to change their name. And the new spelling is just...
They changed their name from Pray for the Gods to Pray for the Gods. Except the spelling has been changed to Praey for the Gods. Which
I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to when you actually see it. It's just ugly. No,
it really is.
It's real, and it's just like, why are they spelling? It raises so many other questions, and I understand. Like, I get it. They didn't want to fully change the name of their game, so I guess that this is the compromise they came to. But it is pretty ugly.
What a great name, just completely ruined by spelling. Like. And there's no significance there's no story significance, no lore significance to like Prey.
No.
It's just weird for the sake of avoiding like copyright and like.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty.
Even like It's crazy too, because the article even talks about them doing this previously, and I don't recall hearing about any of this. But
Yeah.
apparently ZeniMax did the same thing with a game that was called Scrolls.
Yes.
That was conflicting with Elder Scrolls Online, I guess.
Yeah.
And then another game called Fortress Fallout, which of course ZeniMax owns the trademark on Fallout. So like, God help us if
That's what I mean.
ZeniMax trademarks a game that has the word "the" in it, because we're never going to be able to speak English again.
And that you've said much more eloquently than I could say exactly what my problem is with this kind of stuff. You know, when you get into the fucking, you know, trademark and patent law, especially when it comes to naming stuff, it's just so stupid.
The Bethesda vice president, he said that the company didn't have much of a choice in opposing it. Like, they talk about it's this pressing, like, huge issue, like losing their identity as Prey with this game coming out, which is just...
It's so fucking stupid. And it's so hypocritical for them to try to use this when they literally just bought the name to the rights Prey, and the current Prey is nothing even like the previous game. I'm not saying it's a bad title, but to the point that people are playing this and they're like, oh, this is like a BioShock kind of in space. I mean, again, I'm simplifying a bit. But, you know, the engine and mechanics and stuff like that. And it's like, it is funny to think about that. I mean, again, they have the copy, they have the trademark, so they can do whatever the fuck they want, I guess. But it's like, you're going to use that as an example. It's like, this is our brand and it's going to tarnish it, or people are going to be confused. It's like, motherfuckers, you bought the rights to this thing and then made something that's totally unrelated to the first game at all. Anyway.
Yep.
I don't know. Exactly. Like, who gives a fuck? It's just file this under just ZeniMax. I don't think we've had a story with ZeniMax that hasn't ended with it just like scummy, right? Does ZeniMax just seem scummy? I feel like every time we talk about it, it just feels...
The only reason why they're not hated is because people like their games.
That's what I'm saying, though.
True.
And that's
Exactly
what frustrates me. I'm not saying like they make bad products. It's just, you know, I don't know. I guess you get to kind of do whatever you want when you're that size and your games are that well reviewed and whatever. Okay, I'm not triggered. It's fine. I really don't care that much because I'm not gonna play Prey probably, and I'm not gonna play Prey for the gods. Maybe I will. I don't know, but I sure as hell.
Those games do look really good.
It does. It actually the Kickstarter for that and everything looked really cool. So it may turn out to be good. And actually, I've heard the actual Prey itself is actually pretty decent. But
yeah, I'm hearing really good things about Prey actually.
But now that I know, you know, ZeniMax, the parent company, I'm kind of I'm turned off. You know, I'm shutting down. Daddy's hardness is starting to recede. Wow, what am I saying? Okay, let's get to the new releases.
Okay.
Save me real quick. Thank you.
Let's do it. Yeah, new releases. So let's get into it. Speaking of surging, that was awful. I was thinking, okay, no. All right. So,
Surging erections?
train wreck
No,
already.
totally. No, we're fine.
Can I just say that up until now, the segues in this cast have been like really well done. Like, you guys have been killing it.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's high praise. I didn't think.
Okay. Yeah, just keep me far away and we'll be fine. But for the new releases this week, first up is a game called The Surge, which was announced a couple of years ago. It's by the same team that did the like Lords of the Fallen kind of Dark Souls ripoff kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But this time it's got very similar gameplay, same kind of Souls-like design, but it's all in a like cyberpunk kind of setting where you kind of like outfit with different like parts and stuff like that. It looks I mean, honestly, from the beginning it looked like I'm not generally a big fan of like Lords of the Fallen. That game's just super clunky, and at first glance the Surge looks pretty clunky. Just like the animations don't look too top notch, but
yeah,
I mean, the game does look stylish, and so yeah, it is promising.
Are you gonna play it? I definitely got the Dark Soul vibe. I saw a bunch of people playing it this week. You think you're gonna give it a try?
Yeah. I think I'll wait for a sale.
Okay.
Or if I see it for real cheap. Yeah, I don't know if I'll pick this up immediately. It doesn't look like. I think I need more convincing. But just from everything I've seen, it just looks like amateur hour Dark Souls, to be honest. Like, I mean, maybe I'm just too far up Dark Souls asshole to really acknowledge other games. But no, I mean, yeah, it does look like a really polished game, and it's most definitely improvement over Lords of the Fallen as far as like gameplay and polish goes. So that's good. It's on Steam for only $49.99, and if you pre-order it, you can get it for 10% off, going for $44.99. And this game comes out May 15th. So yeah, pick that up. After that, let's see. This indie game coming out is what I talked about earlier, that Bokita Heartfelt Reunion. Pretty artsy open world exploration game. There's no word on a price yet. I actually do not know what it's going to be, but I think it's worth your time. It's a pretty beautiful game, and it's got like I'll wait to go more in on it, like probably next cast once I play around with it a bit more. But yeah, that comes out May 17th, and a bunch of indie games this week, which I'm sorry, let me rephrase. A bunch of promising indie games this week. There are always 10,000.
Give me. I was gonna say, gotta give me the sugar here, because when you say just a bunch of indie games this week,
Yeah,
it feels like you
it's-
just pulled the shit off of whatever you could, anything that was coming out. So, give me the sugar.
Yeah, but we've actually there's some other good stuff coming out. This game called next up, it's called Old Man's Journey.
Can I say how insensitive this is that you would add this to the list, knowing that I'm turning 30? This is my birthday month, and you add Old
You're
Man's
talking about your
Journey.
birthday again?
Yeah, dude, this is insensitive. I get it.
Yeah, it's a story about your life. No, but
God damn.
it's a 2D artsy adventure game where you're like pulling and kind of manipulating the different background and foreground of the areas you're in through the level. It's a quote soul-searching puzzle adventure that tells the story of life, loss, and hope. And you will experience heartache and hope as you embark on a heartfelt journey through a sun-kissed world. But yeah, visually it does look very good. It's got a few different awards like excellence in visual arts. It won like official selection for Day of the Devs 2016. All of these seem like kind of small.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm super. Day of the Devs.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, you know.
Gathering of indie devs. I just love when all these indie games. I mean, again, I'm not saying like a lot of these indie games turn out to be great, but when they put their awards up and you're like, Day of the Devs turns out to be like they met at a Starbucks. There was like 3 folding chairs, and they all ordered like caramel macchiatos and talked about how much
gathered here.
like they love each other's games because there's one person working on it a piece. It's like, I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, it's
Sick.
like putting up an award from Jimmy46, Game of the Year, his YouTube video. But no, there's a lot of stuff from like basically different events from.
It does
This
look
is from,
no. To be fair, it does
GDC.
look very crispy art style wise, at least.
Yeah.
I also
yeah,
want to
it
get a
does.
counter though with these indie games. Like, how many indie games use the word fucking hope? I feel like hope is exclusive
Hope.
to indie game titles, right? Because it's always supposed to be an emotional
Huh.
story or adventure. Hope is almost always in the description with these kind of games. It's like anyway.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll
Go ahead.
I'll have to keep an eye.
Keep an eye out.
for
I'm just
that
saying
from
next
now on.
time we find another indie game that's not some using the other buzzwords, if it's supposed to be an emotional journey, hope is almost always in there. It's like, all right.
It's a hopeful roguelike 8-bit.
Yeah, exactly.
all that.
I mean, we need hope because our first story tonight was about some fucking kid who got the most retweets ever for asking for chicken nuggets for a year. So
Exactly.
kids
yeah,
need hope. I understand.
We've fallen on
It's tough times.
we've fallen on dark times right now, so definitely need a lot of hope.
I mean, North Korea talked about, I mean, this is pretty recent news, but that they have a nuke that can reach the U.S. and that they're, we're in that spat. It's like at this point, we need hope. We need something.
Mhm.
So,
Yes, we do.
or
Yeah,
or
but,
we might roll over and just get nuked because like, what's the point? To be honest, why should we keep going? Well, there's games like Old Man's Journey, and they give us the hope that we need. Sorry,
way to
go ahead.
spoil the ending of that game. Watch just you get to like the last level and then a nuke just drops.
It's a nuke
Literally
from North
the entire
Korea.
world.
Oh god, I hope I didn't spoil it. Dang.
The whole game is just North Korean propaganda by the time you get to the end.
Oh man.
And there are like little hints the entire time. Like
Yeah.
all the NPCs start talking about the great nation. I don't know what they're talking
All the text in the game changes to Korean. You're like, what is going on?
about. Everyone's like saluting, and there are like slums of people like starving, like away from like the all the screenshots you see in like the trailers. Those are from like the really thriving cities, but no, it's just a bunch of people living in poverty.
Wow. I like this. You're really
Yeah.
taking this to the extreme.
Can we get that game? By the way, speaking of Bethesda, I had an idea for a game, and I want to know if like you guys are like on board with this. What if Bethesda did a Fallout Elder Scrolls crossover, but it was a kart racer? Think about that.
Wow.
Tell me that would not sell like fucking hotcakes.
It might. I mean, Smite did a fucking kart racer game or version.
Did it really?
Yeah, or mode. So I'm not putting Smite on the same level as like a Bethesda game, but I mean, you could do it. You could do it.
There's some potential there for sure. But next up on the list, I haven't seen the film Reservoir Dogs, but to my understanding, it's been out for a long time.
Yes.
And it doesn't seem like the kind of I'm not sure if they did like a video game for it in the past or if it was like something adapted from it, but May 18th we have a Reservoir Dogs video game coming out on Steam. It's called Reservoir Dogs Bloody Days. It looks like a kind of cartoony art style to it. It's like a twin stick shooter, sort of like Hotline Miami inspired, where when you die you don't restart the level, you just kind of rewind a little bit. There are other people with you, but it's not really co-op. It's just a single player. But I mean, it's been getting some good write-ups. Like Rock Paper Shotgun says, Bloody Days is smarter than you'd think. It's sort of a turn-based, real-time single-player co-op. Oh, it is co-op. Well, thanks for putting that on your page, Steam. I really appreciate that. Sort of co-op Hotline Miami, and it says it has like original, inventive mechanics. So yeah, there's definitely. I mean, I was expecting to see a Reservoir Dogs game for. I mean, anything more from that series, really. I mean, it's been out for a while now. That's that Tarantino film, right?
Yes.
Reservoir Dogs. What am I confusing that with? I'm thinking of that film with Norman Reedus. What am I thinking of? Anyways, but yeah,
Norman
Reservoir
Reedus.
Dogs. Yeah, what am I thinking of? Anyway, yeah, let's just move on. I don't want to spend like 10 minutes trying to figure it out. But Reservoir Dogs, no price yet, but it comes out May 18th. Could be a diamond in the rough, you know? Would have been, you know, who would expect a Reservoir Dogs game to come out and be the GOAT game? Boondock Saints, there it is. That's what I'm thinking of.
Ah, okay, okay, yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, I can see
All right,
that.
two more on the list.
Comparison, yeah. Confusion.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Reservoir Dogs. Now that I think about it, I was thinking I haven't seen Boondock Saints, but yeah, I've seen Reservoir Dogs. So, but yeah, it doesn't really look like it has anything to do. Like,
no, it seems like it seems like brand just name buzz recognition to try to maybe. Again, though, it's not the kind. It's not like a shooter. Like it's kind of a. It's like in a, I don't know. It doesn't lend itself as kind of like a mindless. Not that I would expect a game like that to be a mindless shooter, but whatever. We'll see.
For sure. But yeah, we'll see. Two more on the list. This game, I'm at a complete loss about how to pronounce this. It's NONG, U with an umlaut and Z. So non-goons? Or no?
I'll go with that.
It's
Can you say it with a little more pizzazz though?
So
commit to it.
All right, well, let's do it. Non-goons. Even if I get corrected down the line, I'm still gonna call it non-goons.
Non-goons? Non-goons?
Non-goons or non-guns?
I don't know.
I mean, there are guns. Definitely a lot of guns.
There are guns in this.
It's a 2D action platformer roguelite.
God,
damn.
Can I also? They use the word
games,
nihilistic. Nihilistic
Yes,
action platformer roguelike. Like this is okay. I'm just triggered.
That's the part where it kind of grabs me a little bit.
Is it?
It's
Okay.
a nihilistic action platformer roguelike. It's obscure in both gameplay and theme, and it's a riddle that demands sacrifice. So right then, you can tell that they kind of put some genuine effort into their description, not just, trying to make sales. Just kind of.
What's catching my eye is they've listed under features.
Yeah.
The last one is the potential to change your perception about existence, violence, and mankind.
Jeez.
That's a feature of the game. And
Damn.
I mean, you're only 300 megabytes from having your potential perception of existence changed.
That is a very wow. These guys are modest, dude. They're not. These aren't lofty goals at all.
That's a small price to pay.
Wow.
But yeah, it's got like a black and white pixely art style going on. It says like, as the world of non-goons evolves, you will meet special characters that will inhabit your graveyard. cultists, martyrs, gravediggers. So it definitely looks like an artistic vision of a game. So, but yeah, May 19th, no price yet, but that's the case with most games on Steam. But we'll see. Look out for that one. That's going on the wish list. I definitely would like my way I view the world around me change.
Yeah, I mean, how much of a risk could it be? Like you said, 300 megs, Yang, not gonna be probably
300
reasonably
megs,
priced.
and it's gonna change your life.
Watch it launch at like $59.99, full price. It's actually Bethesda. But yeah, lastly, for the new releases, is a game that at first glance you think it's Furry's Big Adventure. You've got it's called Skylar and Pluck's Adventure on Clover Island. There appears to be some sort of cat in a mech outfit with an owl on her shoulder. I look at this at first glance and I think something like, what was that? Fur Fun, that really shitty ukulele ripoff that team did.
Yeah,
Fur Fun. It's like the tiger. Maybe like tigers in games have just been ruined for me. Anthropomorphic tigers. But then I turned on a trailer for this game, and it actually looks like it's got like kind of a Ratchet and Clank or like a Jack and Daxter vibe going on with it. It looks a lot more polished than you would think at first glance.
Yeah, it does look a little decently polished.
Sure, this is a debut game from Right Nice Games. what a game dev name, Right Nice Games. It's got Game of the Year from the Swedish Game Awards 2015.
Wow. Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
All right, but yeah, that comes out May 19th, 2017. No price yet. Also coming on PS4, Xbox One. Definitely some promise there. That's gonna do it for the new releases on PC. But a lot of you console players out there will like to know that Injustice 2 comes out on May 11th. Wait, that's in the past. Hold on. Hold on. I've made a critical error.
I love the realization of the date. Like, wait, that would have already come out.
I waited until this crucial moment to mess up the date.
It's all right.
No, but
It's all right.
but yeah, it comes out May 16th. And but yeah, all of these new releases, they're promising, but none of them are important at all. You know what really matters? The new Fire Emblem comes out May 19th. Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valencia. I didn't put it in the doc because I know some scumfuck bastard would strike it out to get out of the doc. But no, we're bringing it up.
Scumfuck
New Fire
bastard.
Oh my God.
That's amazing. I'm gonna steal that.
Boom.
Dang.
There it is.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for.
But yeah, pretty solid new releases this
Not
week.
bad. Actually, not bad.
Cool.
Pretty crispy, dude. All right.
All right, viewer questions.
Yeah, let's get into them, dude. Our first one comes from EcoOfficial on Twitter, and he asks us, do you think this podcast will run long enough that your kids will be taking you over? So, I guess our kids taking our spots.
I hope not.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I hope not as well. I mean, realistically, at what age, like, whenever I have kids, even if I were to have a kid fairly soon, it would still be a while before I would want them anywhere near anything that happens on the KBMOD podcast. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice thought, but you know what? I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna say unlikely, but you never know. I don't want to say no for sure.
I mean, what do you think the perspective would be from your child? You're like, son,
right?
I'm passing this down to you, and you hand them the KBMOD podcast.
Just like with no context, they have to listen to every episode ever at that point, which would I mean,
at that point, it'd be like what 1,100 episodes.
Yeah, it'd be something insane. That would be kind of funny.
I mean, look at where I am in my life right now. We're talking minimum like 30 years until I have like, maybe be a 10-year-old ready for the cast.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And even 10, no, I don't think. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, they at least need to be. Even then, teenager. Do I want? I don't know, man. That's the other scary thing. Is I was thinking about that the other day because I definitely want to have kids someday, and like. The amount of shit that I've said on the internet, the things that are going to come back to me. I mean, who knows what the world's going to be like by the time, like the kind of media, like let's say somebody, my kid, teenager is consuming, and like the stuff that they're going to have on me, man. There's just no stopping it. I just
I hate thinking about that, dude. I hate thinking about where like technology is headed,
Yeah.
like how big smartphones are right now. That's only gonna grow. Like the whole dependency on like social media, that's just gonna grow and grow and grow. It just, oh my god. And then
Yeah.
you think
Sobering.
you think shit like Daddy Finger is bad now. Like
Right.
think of the kind of brain dead stuff that's gonna come out in like the next 5-10 years.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, this raises a
I
more
think-
concerning question, but
My kids are gonna be farm hands with no electronic devices, so I'm gonna have to say no.
okay. Yeah, I don't think that's likely, but who knows? Maybe for like, even if it's not still going on though, I would like the idea of like a reunion cast or something, like even 20 years from now or something like that. You know, who knows how long the cast will go? It'll probably go for a while, but you know, we'll see. But like to come back and then see if Katie's kids actually are farm hands. See if the stuff I've said, like my kids have discovered inbox, and like I have no authority in my household anymore to say anything about like you can't say that or you can't wear blackface or you can't.
You did blackface, Dad. Like, yeah.
I can already hear the
Your
arguments
kids
like
will look at you in the eye
when I'm like trying to be a moral authority and I'm like, listen, no, that's not allowed. That's why I'm gonna have to really
I
lock
found your
down the
footstool,
devices.
Dad.
Yeah, exactly. You hoard your feet out. Like I can already hear the arguments. It's just what maybe
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, that's not the point, son. Okay, I'm the adult. Like
Dad, are you
really?
gonna get possessed like when you opened cases?
God damn it. Yeah, this is
Oh
really
my God.
sobering.
I forgot about
Just
that.
like imagining finding even the small things, like finding
Yeah.
the APL Fab emote.
That's what I mean.
Being like, that's your dad's face.
Yeah.
Or me like streams when I'm in full makeup. Like I
Yeah,
just
full makeup.
I went through your chat commands, Dad. Yeah, all things that I'm gonna have to. There's gonna be a serious lockdown on that stuff as long as I possibly can. I don't know.
If there's one thing that they have to see, it's the VOD, which I can't even
God,
find.
dude.
Which it's when you were playing it's called like Survivors, where it's that wolf that just appears like
Oh
out of
God,
nowhere
yeah,
and has
that
a
horrible.
giant ass screen,
just
and you're wearing
screams.
like the strainer on your head with
Yeah.
like the blanket around you.
Yeah.
That's the video I want to be like a prime influence.
God.
You know.
Dad, why did
If
you
someone
curse
finds that
Paul
video, I'd
Walker?
love to see it again.
Oh,
It's
no.
a fucking classic.
All right. Well, anyway, you've launched a whole nother topic, Eco. But I think to answer your question, I don't think so, but it's possible, at least for me. So maybe. Queen Kipriana. How would you say that? You think it's Kipriana?
I think that's
That's Teddy.
Teddy's handle.
I know it's
Yeah.
Teddy's handle. I just don't know how to pronounce
Okay.
the
I think
I know.
Cipriana
Kip-
or Cipriana.
Cipriana.
I would say Cipriana.
Okay.
Definitely not Cypriana or something.
No, probably yeah. Either way, Teddy asked us, "What's the worst meme of all time?" That's a very open-ended question, but I feel like there's a lot we could choose from.
I've gone through a couple horrible ones tonight.
Yeah,
If you've been watching the VOD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have.
I go through. I think the trash dove. Like, there's just nothing.
I love that one.
There's no substance. The memes that have no substance, like you've got the SpongeBob mocking meme out now. Like that's probably the most popular like circulating. Hold on, that's not the word. Circulating?
Circulating,
Right? Oh, it's
yeah.
in circulation.
Circulating.
Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I forgot English for a moment there. But yeah,
Mhm.
that one, you've got different ways you can take that. You can fit that sort of meme template in like a lot of different ways. But you have Trash Dove, and it's just a simple GIF of a pigeon headbanging, and that's it.
It is pretty bad.
There's
I
no-
know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good choice because that is a pretty weak meme.
Yeah.
It's like memes that basically don't have much to them like that, but then get that kind of popularity. It's almost like because memes, like a lot of things, it's almost like how people sometimes feel about certain acts in pop music or whatever else, where there's not much substance, and you're like, why is this song so popular? It has nothing to it. It's like with memes, you're like, this meme, that's it. It doesn't have any substance of anything actually to it. So there's a lot of those that kind of. God damn it, Brad's changed his voice.
Mhm.
Man, dude. Damn Daniel. I mean,
Ooh, that was. I did not
Damn
like
Daniel
that.
was not good.
it's not good. It's not good. I think
It
we
was
can look
funny,
back now and
but
the other thing with
I
a lot
guess
of these things we have to consider is some of these memes though ascend because they're so bad that they get repeated over and over because it's just funny about how bad they are, right? I feel like that's also so when judging like a meme, does it get points even if it's just bad by what it is, but if it takes on a life of its own because it's so bad, just like movies that are terrible that become cult classics, I feel like memes have that same effect sometimes. Where it's like, damn Daniel at this point would make me laugh if someone dropped it. Maybe. No, not enough time has passed. But like give it another year or two and someone does that, I might actually smile or chuckle because I don't respect that meme. But because it's so bad, it's kind of transcended to like, you know, you can use it in certain situations. I don't know. I'm getting real deep on this, but I feel like there's a lot of memes that are like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Yingity. What were you saying?
No, I didn't really have anything to add to that.
Okay. Yeah.
Just trying to think. Like, there's also the ones that didn't age well. Like, they were kind of mediocre to begin with, and then like you said, like if Damn Daniel came back out of nowhere, you might find it mildly amusing. I'm trying to think of ones that, you know, once they finally went away, they just have there's no coming back from it. Like, you know, they're finally dead forever.
Right.
Because the whole point of the meme is that it persists, right? So what is actually one that really just had a short life, can't come back?
I mean, I think looking back, I think the Harambe meme is fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I don't think it's aged. No, I really do. I mean, there were some good ones. No, you're with Harambe? You're with it?
Yeah,
more so because of the latch on of it, because it became of course, and Brad instantly changes his picture to a Harambe meme. I feel like looking back, just because it became so latched onto by so many people, it kind of ruined it. I don't know. I'm not saying there weren't some good offshoots of the Harambe meme that were pretty funny, but I think overall,
the thing about Harambe,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think Harambe's special because it's real. You know, like it's an actual real world event that people are like incorporating.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it does have that.
On the other hand, yeah, you have stuff like the Squidward dabbing, which there's just, I mean, it's I mean that is real, but there's no deeper meaning. Like Harambe was a pressing issue at the time. And, like seeing him pop up like on occasion was some good stuff.
Yeah.
The one that never got me, and I don't even think it was around for all that long, was that picture of SpongeBob as a caveman.
Oh yes.
SpongeGar.
As a reaction to doing something. That's one I never got, and I never like it. And I think it's dead now too, right? Like no one does that anymore.
No, I haven't seen one in ages.
Like I don't even know what to call that one. Does it even have a name, or is it just the weird SpongeBob?
SpongeGar.
SpongeGar. That's what that was.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Someone brought up Someone brought up.
I just never got it. Like I didn't understand.
Yeah, it's a simple-minded man's meme. SMMM.
People in the chat, the blue dress or the gold dress. Remember that one? The fucking, I don't know if is that a meme? I guess.
I don't think that's a meme though.
It's not really a meme, right? That was just like an internet
really a meme.
photo that was getting circulated, and just like people would argue about it, and that became.
I refuse to acknowledge fidget spinners as a meme.
I mean, they're becoming a meme because I don't know. This is like, we joked about, like, I know for a while, I know there's universities that offer classes on memes, I think at this point, but I remember years, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago on this podcast, we would be like, man, someday they're gonna have classes about memes. But it really, you can just go so deep on this topic because there's so many different avenues of like memes that have transcended. Like Harambe, I think overall, I guess when I say that, like, it's definitely not in the worst meme ever category. It's just that it suffers from overexposure, right? A lot of memes become people just get so sick of them because it's just hammered, and that one definitely suffered from that. And so that's probably the fatigue I'm feeling about that. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough to just pick one because I think there's a lot, but I guess
it's a fine line because I think we touched on it before. Like memes are inherently bad, right? So what's the line between it being truly awful and unenjoyable?
Right.
versus being a good meme, which is also bad.
And that line it depends on who you are. It depends on what you find funny. It can depend on even so. Like a perfect example again. So like I think the Damn Daniel meme's terrible, but Toom in chat just said if you said Damn Daniel, if I did a Damn Daniel thing to you at TwitchCon out of the blue, you would laugh, and I would fucking die because hearing Toom go Damn Daniel to me would totally blow my mind.
Yeah, okay,
so I'm saying, but out of almost anybody else, it wouldn't. So that it's all subjective. It's so subjective. So I think more what we're realizing is that, you know, memes are art and they're very subjective. Okay, maybe I'm going a little bit too crazy, but it just really depends on God damn it, Brad. I don't know. So it's hard to pick. It just really is. It's really your perspective and what you're feeling at the time. Also, because there's a lot of memes too that most of the time I'll be like, that would never, you know, that won't get me, or that like that I don't find that funny. But then, you know, you find me on the right night and I'm in the right mood and I'm sleep deprived enough, and that might be the funniest thing I've ever seen. So I mean, I know that's not exclusive to memes, but it can be. You know, one man's trash meme is another man's transcendent meme.
Transcendent meme. Yeah, like you'll see that and it'll get you, but someone could hold like you could be completely delirious.
Yeah.
Someone holds up a phone with the trash dove gif on it.
Right.
I guarantee you that'll do nothing for you.
Yeah, okay, that's true. I know trash dove's a pretty good one, to be honest.
You think so?
I really no, I'm saying good one in the sense of it being trash. Like that's a good example.
So it's really bad.
So it's a really good example of a bad. I can't even. It's a really good example of a trash meme. Trash dove. There we go.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, great question.
Anything else to add? Anybody on the memes before we move on? We good? Okay.
No, I'd like to stop talking about memes.
Yeah. Okay. I know this could go for a while longer. All right. And our last question comes from Noah Stern, and he asks us, "What is the best dipping sauce for pizza?" Wait, please tell me you dip your pizza in #RanchMasterRace. I think the very nature of the question is fucked up because you don't need to dip your pizza in anything. So that right off the bat, I'm offended by that question. However, I will.
You've already got sauce on your pizza.
Exactly. Like, if you're like to me, this question reeks of somebody who has been stuck with things like Pizza Hut or Domino's or trash tier fast food pizza their entire life.
Little Caesars.
Or yeah, even Little Caesars, which again, I get it. Like Little Caesars, like people. I had a friend who used to buy like, he would always dip his Little Caesars in a sauce because it's like, all right, it might not be the highest quality pizza. So, so this to me just reeks of somebody who hasn't actually enjoyed a nice pie in their life.
Well,
however,
so, Scott, I say that's not as bad though.
No,
as people that eat with a fucking fork. That shit.
Pizza with a fork, sure. No, that's offensive. Unless it's like a deep dish pizza or something like that, which again,
even. Man up, come on.
Even deep dish? Okay. Well, let's not get started on deep dish because we'll go forever, and I'll talk about how that's not pizza at all and should be its own food group and get the fuck out of here. If you consider deep dish is its own fucking casserole fucking category, okay? Don't call it pizza. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not pizza. It's its own other thing. Just because it has the name doesn't. Anyway. All right. But deep dish aside, what do you guys, if you are gonna dip, do you have? Go ahead. You go first.
I like ranch.
Okay.
Yeah, ranch is really unoffensive. Yeah, I mean, we had a conversation earlier about ranch. I don't know if you wanted to take a moment to address ranch now, APO.
Okay, this is my problem. This is when other countries look at us, okay, and they go, that you know what, America is a trash meme, okay? They like trash food and they do trashy things like dip their pizza in ranch. I'm not. Listen, I've been absolutely hammered before. I understand dressing up mediocre pizza. There's nothing wrong inherently with ranch, but where I really get upset, and this is a totally another fight. This is a fight for a different day. But people that get legitimately good wings and dip it in fucking ranch, okay? I'm talking about like buffalo wings, blue cheese, or get out of my fucking face. I can't tell you how many times I lived in LA and tried to get good wings somewhere, and they give ranch on the side by default. They don't even blue cheese is a special order. These fucking mongoloids, what are you doing? I mean, again, blue cheese is too strong. I don't like the aged chunks of blue. Stop. Then don't eat wings because you're doing it wrong. I'm not saying that you can't do it. I understand if you have nothing else and you want to dip something. Personally, I'd rather not dip it at all. But if you're going to deny the amazingness of blue cheese because it's too strong for you, then you shouldn't eat wings. Get out. Eat something else. Go eat boneless wings that are deep fried and super crunchy. Okay, because those aren't wings either. Those are chicken poppers. So enjoy them, but don't call them wings because they're not wings. Wings are bone in. Okay? And it's offensive to me. All right? This has nothing to do with pizza. I've totally gone off track. Sorry, Katie, you triggered me. But that's my take on it. And I think ranch is a trash tier condiment to cover up garbage. And I'm not saying there's absolutely a time and place for it. I've dipped many. I think I would say the Papa John's garlic sauce. I think that's fine if you're gonna eat Papa John's. I understand.
What about ranch? Is it the taste? Is it just offensive or?
No, it's not even that it's offensive. It's just not. It's not on the same tier as something like blue cheese.
You'll eat ranch. You like ranch. I wouldn't say that, but I'm getting the idea that
yeah, I don't hate ranch.
You don't dislike ranch.
No, I don't hate ranch. I just hate what ranch stands. It's not for me. Ranch is never a situation where it's a go-to top tier condiment. It's using something to make up for inadequacies in the cuisine itself. I guess is what I'm going for.
I see, okay.
It can be an okay accoutrement to. I'm getting way too deep into this, but to something else. It can be, but it's ranch is the sign of a culinary pussy, Mike. You said it so well. And I know that sounds very judgmental, but can I just say, I don't want to call out the name in chat, but this person just told me that they don't like blue cheese, and then he said blue cheese is trash, honey mustard for life. Do I have to do I even need to speak to that? Because you asked me about honey mustard, and I would expect somebody who calls blue cheese trash to try to even compare it to honey mustard. I mean, I'm offended. I don't even think I need to acknowledge that. That's offensive to me. To me, we're arguing on two different planes of existence. I can't even argue with that. Anyway, so.
Yeah, that's a little too far out there to even be condoned.
But anyway, we're getting too. We just can't. It's like somebody. You know what it is? It's the levels of somebody telling me hey, dude, I don't believe in evolution. I believe in the literal translation or the literal interpretation of Genesis. We're done. We can't have a conversation because we don't even live on the same planet. And again, I understand people have a right to their opinion, but we're never going to see eye to eye. Do you know what I mean? We're arguing on two different. If you believe in the infallibility of the Bible, and think that evolution, even despite all the science, is a hoax or a joke, we can't have that argument. That's like somebody arguing honey mustard over blue cheese to me, or even trying to compare them. If that makes any sense, I hope that makes sense.
No, that's true.
And it's not that I hate honey mustard. I think honey mustard can be fine, but it's just it's not the same argument. Sorry.
I think do you remember that episode when you went on this rant about CS:GO, this one certain, and that got posted on Reddit and brought in insane views and insane dislikes because people were pissed. I think that's another situation we've got going on here.
Oh God, you think people are gonna be? You think I'm gonna trigger people about this?
So this is gonna be top post on r/ranch. People are gonna be.
Is there a ranch subreddit? Please, I hope there's a ranch subreddit. Someone clip this and put it on because I'm ready to go to town.
Let me see if I can find this.
I'm ready to go to town.
r/ranch. That's
Scott's Pizza.
That can't be a thing
right away.
Okay, don't listen.
Ranch dressing.
Okay, Fred.
Here it is.
Oh my God! Please, somebody clip this and post it to ranch dressing. Again.
Oh, it is there.
Okay, Brad. Can I just say Brad's trying to slander me by posting a pizza Lunchable? Pizza Lunchable is not pizza, no. But I enjoy a nice pizza Lunchable. But it's not a pizza. Okay. But I do enjoy a nice pizza.
I just love this one post. I don't even care what the post is. The title is just "Huge Ranch Enthusiast" here.
Oh, all right. Oh God.
Beginning to.
Oh
post.
God. Oh God.
Oh.
That's something that belongs in someone's Twitter description. Like ranch enthusiast is one of those tags.
Huge ranch enthusiast. Yeah, that's a good Xbox Live name or a Twitch name.
Oh, that's true. That's another good one.
There's just so many. Anyway, whatever. Yeah,
change my Steam name
sir,
right now.
I didn't mean to hijack this conversation about my. Honestly, what really triggered me is just it's all the years of living in on the West Coast and having ranch be like the staple thing, because it really is. It's so foreign to me coming from the East Coast, where Buffalo, New York, Buffalo wing, like we take our wings really seriously, and so having just trying wings over and over and getting just soggy pieces of shit, and then trying to like, here's ranch as it's like the first couple times I ordered wings over the first year I was in LA, I thought that like maybe I was doing something wrong. Did I look like a fucking punk bitch that they could try to pass ranch off as blue cheese to me? Because I just assumed it was blue cheese. I remember dunking that first wing, biting down and being like, is this some kind of sick fucking joke? Like, I was so offended, and I learned that I had to ask for blue cheese specifically. A lot of places wouldn't even offer it. Anyway.
Damn. Yeah, that's insane.
I think a lot of this is just repressed anger that I haven't talked about, so I should.
Just like really opened up like a stuck closed floodgate.
I really did, because I really do. I really do love my wings. But sorry, boys. Go ahead. It can be ranch, guys. You can do whatever you want. I won't. I'm done talking about it. If it's your favorite.
Even though like I don't have really bad pizza all the time, but even when I do, I've never dipped pizza at all ever. Not out of principle, not like oh I don't like doing that. It's just I've never done it, so I don't really have an opinion on this. It sounds fine, like it sounds like a good idea, but I've just never done it.
Okay. Okay.
Did I just make enemies by doing that?
No. Sorry, I'm listening. Brad, did you? I'm sorry. Did you?
I was just saying I don't believe Yingity, but that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's ranch for me.
God, I knew it. Okay. And Katie, did you say ranch as well? That's your go-to for pizza?
I mean, if I had to choose a sauce for pizza, like my go-tos are usually like barbecue, ranch, or honey mustard.
With pizza?
And I think
honey mustard.
I mean, I would. I mean, not for pizza. Just for, like,
okay.
sauce,
Just for dipping.
I mean, given the choice, I wouldn't do any sauce on my pizza at all because it already has a sauce. It already has pizza sauce on it. It already has tomato sauce. That's like, what's the best dipping sauce for my fondue fries?
Right.
It's like, no. No. So, I mean, I guess I would dip my pizza in tomato sauce.
Okay.
So the taste isn't compromised at all.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, right now we're having I don't even want to go on bone versus boneless wings. I've done this. You know what? It's deja vu because I've gone the bone versus boneless. I'm not saying that but they're not wings, okay? They're fucking, oh God, okay.
They're little chicken tenders.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm not saying that they taste bad. And you can like
literally
those,
just
but let's
chicken breast meat with wing sauce.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they can be tasty, but again, for my money, if I'm going to go and eat wings and not the bastardization that things like Buffalo Wild Wings and other, again, not saying it's the worst, but that have kind of brought into the vernacular in American food where like these bone, it's just like, oh God, it just depresses me because I feel like that's the kind of safe stuff that people stick to because they're like, oh, I don't like eating the bone. I don't like knowing that I'm eating an animal, or I don't like the flavor the bone adds. It's too much. It's too chickeny for me. It's too much work. Shut the fuck up and enjoy the flavor that it adds. It blows my mind. And so ranch, beyond the fact that it's you said culinary pussy, that's too strong, but it's the mark of somebody that plays it safe. And it's I'm not saying everybody, but by and large, look at somebody who thinks ranch is a god tier condiment, and then look at talk to me about the other condiments that they would take. They probably don't ever touch blue cheese. They probably eat boneless fucking wings. They probably think Pizza Hut is a tier 1 pizza joint. I mean, again, I'm making generalizations, but from what my life experience, I see a lot of that. So that's all. That's why it upsets me. That's why it upsets me. So, all right. I think we really overdid that question. I don't think Noah at all expected me to get this passionate. If I could only be this passionate about things that actually fucking matter in my life, I might be somewhere. But let's see.
You're on the right track.
It's all right.
But no, you picked a good discussion out of this question because it was kind of hidden. Dipping sauce for pizza. That's not really.
No, it was kind of hidden within that. It kind of was in that. No. And honestly, for the people that haven't I'll take you some places you're in the Philly area, we'll go out. We'll get some proper wings. I mean, not just Philly. I mean, just the East Coast in general, New York, and there's lots of places that can do good wings. I'm sure there were some good wings in LA. I never found them, and I just ended up giving up. So next time I'm out there, if you want to tell me that so that I can try to heal my broken heart from the West Coast for wings. I don't know if I'm ready to try it again, but we'll see what happens. All right, I think this would be the part of the show where we do the iTunes podcast review of the week, but I literally cannot log into iTunes on my PC, and there's no other way to do it. I'm trying to go on my phone to sort by reviews. You can't sort. So if there was a review, I'm so sorry.
We'll save him for next week. If you had one last week, we'll make sure we can try and include him next week. So.
I don't know what's going on with my account. I probably was hacked or compromised, but so yeah, but
especially coming after last week when we had such a demanding call out for iTunes reviews.
We did.
We literally can't even access the app anymore.
I know. I can't even look at it, so I feel bad. I really, honestly, of all the weeks, I hope that nobody, even though I guarantee you, someone wrote something because we were very hard on the reviewers or future reviewers. So, could be tough, but. All right. Well, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us, as always, for episode 270 of the podcast. Yingity Yang, my man, thank you so much for coming on.
I appreciate it. This was really cool.
Yeah, it was great. It was definitely good. We'll definitely have to have you back. You were a beautiful fill-in, as I thought you would be, not just in physical form, but also in vocal form. And we're going to have sex someday. Anyway, moving on from that. I'm sorry.
Jesus, okay.
That's excited for TwitchCon, Yang? Okay.
Yeah. No.
You can, of course, go to kbmod.com to check out articles, multi-stream, build guides, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, this Twitch channel, twitch.tv/kbmod. Sorry, I can't believe I just spilled the beans on my plans for Yang at TwitchCon. You can, of course, follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/kbmod gaming. Yes, that's the Twitter. You can follow me at Volition, VOL1TION. Katie Zen is at Katie Zen18. Yingity Yang is, I believe, YN. I'm sorry, excuse me, YIN.
No,
yeah, I already fucked it up. Let me try to get this right.
Right away.
YINIGTY Yang. Is that correct? Did I totally fuck that up? You do it, Yang.
Is there an underscore?
It's almost exactly how it sounds. It's at YINGITY.
Oh, I totally fucked that up.
YANG.
There we go.
Cool. It's very long. I don't feel like spelling that out is very helpful. But...
It's not. But check Yingity Yang. Check Yingity Yang out. I don't know what I just said. I wasn't even close when I tried to spell that out. But check.
Your second letter, you said YN.
Oh yeah,
there was already a lack of a proper.
My first attempt was very.
Sorry, a vowel.
But also you can check. I'm pretty much on. You're that on Twitch as well. Check out Ying's streams. He's been doing great with the Extra Life streams. Again, help him get to his goal. He has a stretch goal. If he gets, you didn't talk about this.
Yeah.
But if Ying gets to $1,500, he is getting a. Talk about the tattoo that you're going to be getting.
Yeah. So the Extra Life logo, which is the controller with wings and a halo.
Yes.
I'm getting that as a shoulder tattoo if we hit my stretch goal, which is $1,500, which is my goal and a half for the entire year. And I'll be doing that basically as soon as we hit that goal. But I mean, I've already had a lot of people in chat say, once I announced that, they're like, "Yeah, no, you're getting that tattoo." So
yep,
it's I'm excited for. I think it's a cool design too. I like the idea of it, so I'm all in. But if we have to hit 1,500 first,
exactly,
for the kids.
Yeah, so check it out. Check out his stream and follow him on Twitter. And again, thanks Ying so much. And of course, Brad is at Hutchison15. Also at Z. Oh my God, it's Hutch ZOMGZHUF4798. Check him out on Twitter as well.
Jesus, what is that picture?
Oh my God, what is Brad? I don't even.
That's
what the fuck?
Lula cakes.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's amazing. That's Lula. Oh wow,
yeah.
What a photo. That's iconic.
How did that even?
That's incredible. I've never seen that before. Anyway, okay. Sorry, audio listeners. We really do appreciate you, and we will see you next week for episode 279. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Farewell.
Hey guys what's going on. APL here, APL Fisher on Xbox Live. And I want to take a little reprieve here from the Half-Life 2 playthrough I've been doing. I hope you guys are enjoying that. But I want to start a Counter-Strike Source video